a country boy named Johnny Be Good, who never ever learned to read or write so well, but he could play a guitar just like a ringing a bell. Go, 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 Johnny, go, 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 Johnny, go, 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 Johnny, go, 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 Johnny, go, go, Johnny Be Good. He used to carry his guitar in a gunny sack, or sit beneath the tree by the railroad track. Oh, the engineers would see him sitting.
Well, well, well. If it isn't the usual suspects. All right, guys. My name is esteBAM, and welcome back to the BAMcast. I almost messed that up. All right. So today we're going to be talking about something a little bit different. We decided to do a little bit of movie talk. I'll just put it like this: Captain Marvel or Captain Drama. And should we even care about it? Like, everyone has their own thoughts and opinions on it. I know me and my guest, Ill Will, have something to say about it. But before we go on to that, I wanted to do a little bit of, you know what that is? Housekeeping. So what I wanted to do was talk about my little shirt store I got going on over here. Let's see, how do we get to that? You got it over here. Let me pull this up for you guys. All right, so if you're watching this now or in the future, feel free to go visit my t-shirt shop. All these, we got all these awesome shirts and apparel. You know, all your favorite esteBAM gear is here. This was actually all designed by, well, the logo was designed by Ill Will himself. I love the orange esteBAM t-shirt, and I also like the gold one. Anyways, we got, as you can see, we have shirts. We have esteBAM coffee mugs and some cell phone covers. All that stuff is cool. We also have, it'd be really awesome if you guys could at least buy some stickers. So if you're watching this now or in the future, feel free to visit that store. The description is in all my profiles on all my channels and social media, and it's also in the description of this video. So yeah, feel free to check that out sometime. So that's what I want to talk about on that. Let's take this down. But yeah, check it out. So today we're gonna be talking about Captain Marvel. Let me get my boy Ill Will. He's over here doing some work. All right, Ill Will. Welcome to the BAMcast, man. Can you say something so I can hear you?
Hi guys, how you doing? Great to be here.
Did you see how serious he was being? He's working really hard on some graphics for the show, I think. But yeah, yo, Obama, what's going on, man? Welcome to the esteBAM stream. Welcome everybody who's watching right now.
I thought it was Bama this whole time.
Hey, is it Bama or is it Bama? I think I've heard him say Bama. Yo, the homie RJ. All right, guys. So we're gonna get into this.
RJ.
If I don't immediately talk to you guys in the chat, I see y'all there. I will respond at some point. But we're gonna like answer questions and we'll let you kind of put your 2 cents in throughout the show. But for now, me and Bama. So it's like Alabama. Anyways, we're gonna start this podcast. All right. So, Ill Will got really heated about this whole debacle that was. So it seems like you can't talk about Captain Marvel unless you talk about all the drama that was going on behind the scenes and in social media. I didn't really pay attention to it, but it was really hard to ignore it. So I didn't plan on watching Captain Marvel in theaters. I planned on watching it on Redbox. But turns out that they made you have to watch it in theaters because, you know, if you wanted to watch Endgame and you wanted to keep up with all the movies, you had to watch it in theaters. So as much as I tried not to listen to the drama, basically I got kind of dragged into it because it was just everywhere. And I didn't want to watch it because I didn't want to have anything in my head before I went in there. I didn't want to not like a movie, which I don't normally do based off the drama. But that's where I was when I was going to go watch the movie. That doesn't say whether I liked or didn't like the movie. I'll get back to that. Let me see what Ill Will thinks so far. Did you know about the drama that was going on before you watched the movie or after? Because you're like me, right? You don't watch trailers, like just like me. I got that from him.
I don't watch it. Yeah, somebody on the bandwagon.
Nice.
Or should I say the BAM wagon? No, I'm not, because it's my idea.
No, it's the bandwagon. I steal it.
No.
Copyrighted.
I will sue you in the highest of courts.
Copyrighted. Everyone on my
Oh,
show,
so
everything that comes on my show is my property of the esteBAM. So you now belong to me. You know what that means, right, homie? All right.
slavery.
Yeah.
But no, I had heard, I didn't know details, but
Mhm.
I heard that Brie Larson had kicked up some dust and
Yeah.
people were pissed. I didn't
Mhm.
know about what. I just knew, like, as soon as I saw the heading of the article, like I wasn't even looking for, how they just have stuff random
Yeah,
places. Like
it's
sometimes when you open,
clickbait. Clickbait.
yeah, sometimes when I open up Chrome or whatever, like how they got the news stories on the
Yeah.
homepage now.
Mhm.
It was like boom, first thing up there. Like I couldn't avoid it. But I just heard that like people were pissed. And then I heard it got like terrible reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. Uh and then later on after I watched the movie, like I was gonna see it. Like
Mhm.
I was gonna see it regardless.
Yeah.
Uh but after I saw it, then I went back and looked at all, what was kicking up dust. And I was just like, man, people need to get lives. First of all, the Rotten Tomatoes thing was total BS. Like if I was the person who made the movie, forget Brie Larson,
Yeah.
but if I'm Marvel or Disney or just the director or the
Or
writer,
anyone
I'd be
who.
like,
Mhm.
y'all are bashing my movie and it ain't even come out yet,
Exactly. I didn't
which
like
I
that
didn't
at
know was
all.
a thing, and they changed it. Like apparently, it never occurred to Rotten Tomatoes that they shouldn't have that ability to rate a movie before it comes out.
Yeah, I didn't
But
even think
now
about
it's
that.
forever changed where people can't do that. But
I didn't even know
uh
about any of that.
well, see, they didn't know. I don't because a logical person is like, no one's gonna review a movie
Yeah.
before it comes out, but they forgot that the world is full of terrible people, and so basically bunch of people, voted down the movie, and it had like a 30%,
Before it even came out?
yeah,
Wow.
before it even came out, like weeks before it even came out or whatever, which I think is jacked up, even for a movie that I have no intention on seeing, like that Sonic movie, for instance.
Yeah.
No intention on seeing that movie. I'm not gonna like. First of all, I've got things to do. Like
Yep.
I have a life. I'm not about to get on Rotten Tomatoes and vote down the movie just because I don't want to go see it.
So I think you and me are kind of on the same page on this as far as like we're more mad about I could be speaking for myself, but let me know. We're more mad about how angry and butthurt people got about the controversy, not
Oh
not
yeah,
on what we thought about the movie or Brie Larson herself, right?
yeah.
Is that what it is? Or the
I'm
whole
more
feminist
upset,
thing.
and it's funny because I watched the video, ironically, of
I
a
watched that same video,
woman
by the way. But
who was the X-Men girl.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't remember her name. I would like say who she was or
But
whatever,
you don't
but I don't
remember.
remember.
Yeah.
But anyway, she was one of those people who were like just bashing on the movie. And I clicked on the movie because I had watched one of her videos before, not a review, but just talking about, comic stuff.
Yeah.
And so I liked her, what she was talking about. And so I thought this was a movie review. And so I clicked on it. And, about 3-5 minutes into it, I realized it's not a review, and that it came out before the movie even
Yeah.
came out, and she was just bashing it.
That was
And
the
I wanted to
first.
turn it off, but I
Mhm.
had to. Like
You're.
I was so enraged.
I felt the same way. That was the first review I watched after I was done watching the movie. It was the same girl. As soon as you said it, I said I know who that is, and it wasn't just her. It was
There's a lot of
a lot
people.
of dudes too. Like a
She's the only
lot
one
of
that
dudes.
I listened to, but it's funny. She made a comment in the video how she gets enraged at other people being enraged about stuff. Like she doesn't necessarily care,
Who?
but the X-Men chick.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So she's like she like, for instance, she'll be on Twitter and somebody will be up in arms because you know in California they're getting rid of straws or whatever. Now
Yeah.
she doesn't care because she doesn't live in California, so it doesn't affect her at all. But because the internet was in such a blaze over it,
Mm-hmm.
she gets upset. Like she got upset about it. And I'm just giving a general type of scenario. She
Okay,
didn't
okay.
actually say she was upset about the straws, but it was funny that she made that comment because she was like because at this point I had watched and listened to like a couple of videos,
Yeah.
a couple of reviews, and that was the straw that broke the camel's back. Where I was like, okay, now I'm mad. I'm mad that so many people are butthurt about a movie that hasn't even come out yet,
Yeah, that was the main thing.
or the fact that she's basically just stating facts. Like you may not like what she says,
Yeah.
but I'm sorry, truth hurts.
Yeah, like what she
And
said wasn't a lie. It's just I think what people had a problem with what people had a problem with was her saying it for some reason, you
because she
know?
was a woman, like
And she was
it,
white. Let's be
yeah,
honest, like some of the stuff is because she was white, you know?
yeah,
But I mean, I don't know. I feel two ways about it. Like, okay, well, shit, I wouldn't be butthurt if somebody was defending my people because nobody defends Hispanic people for the most part, right? I mean, we all. It feels
yeah.
like a lot of
Nobody.
minorities we get bashed on, right? Uh, so I don't think I'd necessarily be mad, uh, but I don't know. I feel about it that way. And then the other part of it is kind of like, yeah, maybe she shouldn't be saying that. Like so early in her career. I mean, I know she's been doing stuff for a while, but she's now getting big, you know, for the first time.
Mhm.
Maybe she should wait because it seems like she's doing it a little bit too often. She's putting herself on this soapbox, and it just feels like she's doing it purposely. It's not really like something she cares about. It just feels like she just purposely wants attention. And I will say something. I saw this one interview where it was her and what's Hawkeye's name? Jeremy Renner.
Jeremy Renner, I
Yeah.
think.
So if you remember in the past, he was a bit of a diva too, right? Remember that? Like he
No, I
wanted his.
don't actually.
Well, there was a point where he was like he wanted to be a bigger part of the Avengers because he was Jeremy Renner. He thought he should have a
Dude,
bigger
you're
part.
Hawkeye.
Yeah, exactly. He thought he should have a bigger part. He thought he should get his own movie, all that type of stuff, right? But
No,
he's Hawkeye. He did a good job. I liked him in it.
no,
But
yeah, you did a good job, and I like the character Hawkeye,
mhm.
but you're
But
Hawkeye.
yeah, you're Hawkeye. Exactly.
I'm sorry.
So
I'm sorry. That sounds like a diss. It's not a diss. It's just like
yeah.
you're Hawkeye. It's like Professor X is an integral part of the X
Yeah.
Men. Do I want to see
A movie just about Professor
just
X.
about Professor X? No.
But
Get out of
what I
here.
was getting to about this is, so he was playing the part of a little bit of a diva and getting up on his soapbox at that point, and like he wanted to get out of the movies for a while. And anyways, all that calmed down, and it seems like he'd grown over the years. That was a long time ago, but he didn't. It wasn't that bad. It was just whatever. He said what he thought, and that was it.
Yeah.
Well, fast forward to 2019 now. Him and Brie Larson are sitting in this interview chair, like interview together, and they're sitting side by side. And the first thing, they ask her, hey, since you're a famous person, do you feel like you're responsible for, like, bringing things to light and using your status as an actress to, push certain agendas or thoughts and she was like, oh, yes, I'm famous. And, I don't remember her exact words, but she was basically saying, oh, yes, I definitely use my celebrity-ism to, we should all use our celebrity to push things forward and help people out and this and that. And then Jeremy Renner, he turned around and he was like, well, no, I mean, I'm just a regular guy. I'm getting
See
to a point.
what had happened was he got reprimanded already, so he was like, "You're not about to get me in trouble."
The whole time he's making these faces like he don't like what she's saying. But he's kind of like, well, no, I mean, I'm just I'm a celebrity, but I mean, it doesn't put me above other people. It doesn't mean people should listen what I say as like the golden rule. Come up with your own thoughts, stuff like that. That's what he was saying. That's basically what he made the gist of it. And the whole time she's kind of like looking at him like, you motherfucker. Like, I wish I might look up the interview here to show you. She's kind of like doing this, like,
because they were probably talking about it like how we talk about stuff. Just us.
Oh yeah. And
you know how it
you're
is.
not supposed to say
like
stuff like
that mess we went through
at
back in
Dave's school. Yeah,
where everybody was like rah 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 rah. I'm upset. And then when it came time to talk to the
people that's gonna make the actual changes,
it was crickets. It was crickets.
Anyways, what I'm trying to get by on that is Jeremy Renner and all the other Avengers. They've been doing this for a while. They've grown. They know how to be professional, and they know how to take things on as needed, or do charity stuff, or talk about stuff when it's time, not every 5 seconds. And I think that's one of the reasons people are pissed at Brie Larson. It feels like she doesn't know how to. It's not. I'm not saying that she can't say what she wants to say. She just doesn't. It doesn't seem like she knows how to conduct herself professionally yet, if you know what I mean.
I think she just doesn't care.
And I think she kind of says it in a, and I've done this too, like she says stuff in a conceited or know-it-all way, And it's not really that she's thinking that. It's just it comes off that way because either the wording she's using or that posture that she has. I don't know. But what do you think about that? Do you think she's?
I mean, I haven't seen any of the interviews.
Well, so you haven't seen any of the interviews where her?
No, I've heard about it, but I haven't seen them to see her, her facial expression or how she's saying it.
Yeah.
And all that. And you're right. She may be saying it the wrong way. She's saying the right thing
in the wrong way.
In a wrong way. But at the end of the day, I rock with her.
Yeah.
Because I don't think she was saying like, oh, as a celebrity, I'm above the people, so you should listen to what I say.
Yeah.
But knowing that celebrities have such a pull on people's opinions because people are sheep.
Yeah.
Or whatever. So as long as everybody who is an influencer, a celebrity who has that type of influence on people is saying everything's honky-dory, it's all rainbows and lollipops, then people are going to think that's the case. And it's not until somebody, steps against the grain and says, I know this may hurt my career, but this needs to be said.
Yeah.
And if a lot of people are pissed at me, so be it. At least some people would be like, oh, I didn't know that was happening. Or whatever. Like maybe I'll start to inquire about this or think about it.
Yeah.
Kind of deal.
I got a question for you. So she's basically propping up a few things. One is women in film not getting their due, which I can totally get behind.
Oh
yeah. But she's also kind of bringing minorities into that, right? Which is, to me, why not, right? All right. So because you're part of the African American community, right? So I wanted to ask you. Whenever she says stuff, when she's like, "Oh, black actresses, get paid so much," or basically just stating facts, like you said, does it annoy you? Are you at any point ever thinking, "Hey, bitch, you shouldn't be saying this about you? You have no part in this." Okay.
No.
So all right, hold on. That's part one.
Okay, it's part one. Part one. Okay.
Part two is any of your friends, or family members, have any of them stated hatred or disdain for her, sticking her nose in where some people say it doesn't belong? Because I've got it from both sides. So when I come to you, you're like not annoyed at all. But when I go to some of my other, let's say black friends, they're kind of like, this chick is saying some dumb shit. So I'm kind of like, it's just a personal opinion of everybody. Race shouldn't come into it, right? At this point.
Yeah. See, the problem is, and like I don't know how it is, for Latinos or whatever, but for black people at least, and I say we, even though I'm not in it, but as a people, like it ticks me off how we'll want something to be said or something to be done to help us out all day, and we whine about it, and then somebody does it, but they happen to not be black, and all of a sudden it's like, you don't talk for me, blah blah blah. And I'm like, look, what do you want? Do you want somebody to say something, or do you not? Because before Tom over here said what he said, nobody was saying nothing.
Exactly.
Or whatever. Like maybe you were saying something, but you low level piece of nobody that don't amount to nothing. Not dissing you, but like no one's checking. You're not a celebrity or anything. You're just a person who lives down the street. Like nobody cares what your opinion is.
Yeah.
And now this person, like Tom Hanks, for instance, is speaking up and saying
what you wanted him to say.
What you wanted him to say. All of a sudden, you butthurt about it. And I mean that goes for a lot of different aspects of the black plight.
Yeah.
Or whatever that I have a problem with. And it's like, look, we come up with a solution.
Yeah.
And you still not happy about it.
Yeah.
Kind of deal. And it's like, what do you want?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, cool. That's what
I mean,
I think that's the best answer. That's kind of what I was thinking, but I'm kind of like, well, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but it's good to hear somebody other than me say the same thing that I was thinking. As far as a Hispanic male, shit, I wish somebody would say some shit like that, to be like, oh, hey, Hispanics in film are getting held down, because as well as I do, we have no honest to goodness, decent, respectable Hispanic superheroes. Not a one. Name one real non-stereotype Hispanic superhero. What was
Spider-Man
one?
2099.
What was?
Miguel O'Hara.
Yeah, but
Boom.
no. But me and you talked about this. He's not his own thing. Like, okay,
Yeah.
they give us some throwaway character that's not going to amount to anything. He's already just, it's like, here, it's Spider-Man, whatever, right? And other than that, I want to see a superhero that doesn't say fucking essay after every 5 sentences, or every 5 words, not even sentences. Hey, essay, what's going on, Holmes?
Well, they gotta make they gotta make sure, because you just looking at them on the comic book page, you'd be like, oh, that's a white dude that's just kind of tan.
Yeah, but then
you throw an essay in there, you're like, oh, this is a Hispanic dude. Oh, okay, I'm with you.
That's not the way to do it. And then the other thing, they go the other direction with like Zorro. Okay, he's a sting for his time, but he's not really a true superhero.
Zorro's not a superhero.
What was the Hanna-Barbera that you superhero you mentioned?
El Cabon.
Yeah,
the greatest,
what the fuck is this shit?
The greatest Latino superhero that ever did exist.
Cabong. So that's what I'm fucking tired about. I don't want my Hispanic superhero to have any kind of anything in it, or a musical instrument or food be part of their, superpower, or their whole design. Like, that shit pisses me the fuck off, man. Like, I don't know, just they need to fucking come up with some shit for my people. El Jefe. Yeah, see? There you go. Closest thing we got to superheroes fucking what was that one guy's name? The drug lord Netflix series. Narcos.
Pablo?
Yeah, Escobar.
Dang, that's your superhero? That's messed up.
I mean, fuck. Either that or El Cabong. Shit. You're the anti-hero? But no, I'm just saying, that shit's getting ridiculous. I want some true Hispanic superheroes, man. You can't name one that's not a fucking joke of himself. What was some of the other ones that you mentioned to me? There was one other one. You looked them up. It was,
Yeah, I looked them up, and most of everybody was, like you said,
carrying maracas or fucking.
They were either super stereotypical, or they were a mantle passed down. Like Blue Beetle. Blue Beetle was one of the.
Yeah,
the
Blue Beetle
ones.
was like the third Beetle or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, come on now. Here, kid, take this. I'm done with it. Yeah, I don't want to see that shit.
There was no original Hispanic.
Yeah, I don't want to see that.
Or whatever.
This is the fucking third time I've heard this, Nico. Speedy Gonzalez, get the fuck out of here. It's funny, but it's not accurate. He's not a superhero. But yeah, you're like the Jamaican. He was supposed to be on here this podcast. That's what he said too. But anyways, going back to the whole Brie Larson thing. All right, so what do you think about? So she was talking about more than one controversial thing. The other thing I keep seeing people pitch about this movie is that it was like a feminist film, which I don't see it.
I didn't see it either.
See it at all. Like there, maybe because she was saying shit, and you had these notions, like these what is it called? Preconceived notions
ideas
in your head before you went in there. So everything you saw was. I even heard him say some stuff about Endgame towards the end. Anytime she made an appearance, this is where the film gets all feminism or feminized.
Yeah, because of the.
Come on.
I'm not agreeing. Let me be clear.
Yeah.
But that one scene in the fight where it's all the female superheroes.
Yeah, exactly.
They are a team, which I'm not gonna lie and say I'm a big comic book nerd, and I knew that. I did not know that. But there's different sectors of the Avengers. There's West Coast Avengers and Secret Avengers, all that. Yeah, same thing with X-Men. But apparently there was a sub team or whatever. Yeah. I think they was called like the A-Force or something like that.
Wait. Oh, I was thinking A-Team.
Not A-Team. Yeah, you thought I almost said A-Team. I was like, that's the wrong thing. But yeah, all those characters not all of them, because not everybody is in the MCU, but most of those characters were part of the A-Force, and Captain Marvel was the leader of that subgroup or whatever.
Well, yeah, I didn't feel that way.
I didn't feel it was
cool. I thought it was cool. It's like, hey, this is the last big bang. Let's do some cool shit. All I saw was, wow, this is cool. And
I thought it was cool that there was that many female characters.
Like, I didn't even realize it until I saw that scene. Like, I knew there were
exactly.
There, I didn't put it all together until I saw that. I thought it was awesome. And if you're like a little girl watching this film, how awesome would that be?
Oh, see, that's the other thing. That's the other thing they were bashing.
So I'm Hispanic, right? If I would have went in there and there's this one part where all the Hispanics come together for whatever reason, I would have been fucking like, oh, this is fucking awesome, right? Anybody would.
Yeah.
You can relate. Whatever. It's let me go back to this one comment here. So my boy Word on the Street says, not even his cousin Slowpoke Rodriguez, he got a gun. All right, he's a close second, but he's still not a Hispanic superhero, man. But yeah, so that's all I kept hearing about this film. How it was oh shit, Marvel's going, like turning into a feminist, like trying to turn this into some kind of feminist agenda, which I didn't see that at all. So I'm kind of like, where did you see that in this film? There's this one, so there's parts throughout the movie where she keeps having flashbacks, and she keeps getting kicked down, and they keep kicking her when she's down. Stuff keeps happening.
She should have for real died.
Yeah, but
been super hurt. I'm talking full body cast when she fell off that rope.
Yeah.
Oh man, I felt that when that happened in the movie. I was just like, ooh, I'll stay down. Stay down.
But so that kept happening throughout the film. But there was never a point.
Machete, though a national treasure, is not a superhero.
And he's still called Machete. Could we not?
The man uses machetes.
Could we not name them L or?
Hey, there's no L in front of there. It's just
Machete.
Machete.
Or,
and that is
saying?
Hispanic enunciation, or pronunciation,
right.
rather.
Well, I will say this about black superheroes. You guys need to stop using black in front of everything. Like, what is that?
Again, you got like, hey, we letting you know.
Don't you get tired of it at some point?
Front.
Storm's cool.
It's dumb.
Yeah. No, it was cool. It's cool if a few of them do it.
But yeah, it's like for a couple, like Black Panther.
Black Panther, awesome.
That works.
Yeah. Black Lightning.
But then there's like, Black Lightning.
Yeah.
And which Black Lightning was whack to begin with. But
hey, I like the show.
I mean the show was okay, but like when Black Lightning first showed up, oh man, that dude super whack. His costume is like the worst thing ever. I can't think of all the many like black in front of the hero name thing, but yeah, it's the same thing as like the Latino thing.
I will say when it comes to black superheroes, so I've told you this before, I have a stack of like heroes that I used to like, comic books that I used to read, and you busted my balls because you're like, oh, you like black superheroes, huh? We ain't got no Hispanic superheroes, man. This is what all minorities got to stick together at this point, because at least y'all got some cool ones. So I used to be down with like Static, Icon, Rocket Girl, a bunch of cool superheroes. A lot of them were teens and stuff, and it was when I was a teenager, so I could relate. But none of them had black in front of their name. But I will say this: when I was a kid, like I even liked Steel, not the movie, the comic book.
You like Steel the movie?
No, I loved Steel though. It was awesome to me because I always, as a kid,
I did think Steel. I had a Steel action figure.
Yeah,
he just not because he was black. He just looked dope.
Yeah, and I always liked as a kid growing up. I remember them showing this. Like in first grade, they showed us a film, like a motion graphic film of John Henry Irons, the Steel driving man or whatever. I thought the story was awesome of a man, pushing himself so hard he could beat a machine, and to the point of, he beat the machine, but it's tragic at the end. He dies, right? But he still won. I thought that was always awesome. So they kind of played that part up. Plus, he was really smart. And you know me, I love superheroes that are also intelligent. So like that's why I like Donatello, even though you hate that I like Donatello from Ninja Turtles. He's brain and brawn, right? So that's the way Steel is. He's an intelligent scientist and engineer. That's how he made up the suit. Anyways,
to be clear, for anybody who wants to come at me because I'm not a fan of Donatello, I'm not a fan of the new Donatello where they made him a dork. Like I'm cool with 90s, and before Donatello where he was just smart.
Yeah.
But then when they gave him not only did they make him a dork, they gave him a gap tooth. They put the gap tooth in there. They made him super skinny.
Yeah, they did change their proportions, right?
And he's lanky. And it was always like little subtle differences between the turtles, mostly in the color or whatever. Like Raph was always the shortest one, and not shorter, but he was like the stocky one, or whatever. And Mikey was always the short one because he's the youngest. And Donatello was a little taller than Leo, but he wasn't like lanky. He wasn't hunched over. He didn't have the tape on his doggone glasses. He didn't have goggles on top of his head with tape on the side like a nerd, and the gap tooth. And he didn't talk like this, like, "Hey guys, turtle power." That's That's when I stopped.
Oh man, we gotta make a
That's when
cartoon
I
with that
stopped
voice.
making. When I stopped rocking with
But
Donatello. I
all
can't
right,
rock with you no
we're
more.
going off on a tangent here. Um, you made
It's
me
your
forget what I
fault.
was talking about. So this is what I was saying about black superheroes. One of the things that you guys as superheroes need to stop doing is they need to stop doing it where like, oh, we got to go save the hood. So when I was a kid and I saw John Henry Irons doing that, I thought it was cool, right? 'Cause that's where he came from, and he wanted to get out of that. But I didn't realize that every other superhero is kind of the same way. So Black Lightning, I watched the show the other night. Same thing. Static, when I was reading the comics, same thing. Oh, we gotta go get all these drugs out of our neighborhood. Do you ever feel kind of like, I don't know, typecast, or like they keep telling you like this is the only way that black people live their lives, like around this tragedy all the time, no matter where you
Well,
come from?
one, I know that if a
Because
black dude was running around in a white neighborhood with a mask on, he's gonna get shot. So that's why they stay
stay in their own neighborhood.
in their own neighborhood. 'Cause they're like, at least I can stay alive, possibly, from doing the superhero thing. But no, I mean it. I it bothers me, but only in the back of my head, because in the forefront of my head, I'm fully aware that these comics, up until like recently, like the Ta-Nehisi Coates
Mm-hmm.
writing Black Panther, uh, they were written by white dudes,
You think that's what it
and
is?
they were. And I'm not trying to say like all of these white dudes are under this one umbrella. I'm not, but for the most part, it's like, look, this is what we know about black people.
Yeah.
So this is what we're gonna do. And we know black people live in the hood. They don't live in, the suburbs. They don't live in the neighborhood, even though we did, or whatever. But as far as what we, the white people, know as a whole,
Yeah.
black people living in the hood.
It just feels
So
like a stereotype.
that's what they're gonna superheroes. I mean, the same thing
I
is like
that's
we know Hispanics like
exactly.
sombreros
That's why I get so pissed about. I think that's why I started getting so pissed about it, because
and ponchos, like
Mhm.
old boy from Sunset Riders.
Exactly.
The
That's why I
one
said
the one Hispanic dude, he
he's
got the
wearing a fucking
bandoleros.
poncho. Come
He's
on.
got the poncho. He's got the bandoleros.
Yeah.
The
But that actually
the
looks
whole
cool.
nine.
Actually looks cool. But
I
anyways,
mean, those are always cool. You
that's
never
why
can go wrong with bandoleros, but it's super racist.
it's racist. Exactly. That's what got me about it. So the reason I started getting mad about it is because it felt like what I was going through from a Hispanic background. I was like, man, just getting stereotyped and fucking put into one little basket. We're all the same. Um, but then I was like, the Black Panther movie. I didn't know too much about him other than stuff you had told me about him before I watched the movie. Awesome. Loved everything about it. Well, I didn't really like the bad guy. I don't like that guy in anything, to be honest, man. The main bad guy, nope. Hated
Michael B.
him.
Jordan?
Hated him in Creed. I hated him. Go watch that movie again. They didn't give that motherfucker no lines, and it's really weird because
Rocky wasn't reciting an Easter speech.
Rocky was great. Creed's
Sylvester
son Adonis.
Stallone was getting his face rocked in for 75% of the
No,
movie.
go watch the Rocky movie. There's tons of dramatic acting in that. Most of the movie, there's more drama and acting than there is fights. You just
Okay,
haven't
let's
seen
be
the movie
honest.
in a while.
We watched for the fights. Nobody came for
No, not
Sylvester
me.
Stallone's
Not me. It's all about
acting.
that story. Nah, man. The Rocky movies have some of the best acting ever.
Stop it.
Ever. Anyways,
Stop it.
here's the problem with Creed. I haven't seen the second one yet. The problem with Creed is that they gave them.
Did I see the second one?
They gave that dude
I don't know.
like 2 lines. They did this awesome like camera choreography and like one shot stuff. That's all awesome. It's whatever, but I'm never gonna watch that movie again. The acting was horrible. The story was garbage. And then they made that one girl his girlfriend, the love interest. They did this formulaic movie. Anyway, the love interest has like this hearing aid, but it doesn't ever really play a part, like at all. Like it never did anything. Like, okay, whatever. This is not tragic. Like it's like they were trying to make it tragic. And I hate how they tried to recreate the working out running scene. But then for some reason, like it was cool.
We're gonna do it.
It was cool. Like no, it would have been cool if everybody in the neighborhood. Hey, he's famous. We know him. Let's run with him. Forrest Gump style or Rocky style, right? Or like running with him. But these motherfuckers, they had all these helicopter shots and whatever. And there's people on fucking 4-wheelers in the city, fucking doing.
Okay, first of all, that is
wheelies and
Philly thing.
That was what?
That's a legit Philly thing. So
Still,
black people in Philly.
garbage.
Why I say Philly? Black people in Philadelphia for whatever reason, don't ask me why. I don't know the history, but for decades, they have been riding through the streets on four wheelers
But
and stuff.
it was just like
Like
it was just like
that's just what they
ham.
do in Philadelphia.
It was just like
Uh,
ham. But it doesn't matter. So what? If you go to like Houston, especially back when the whole rice racer thing was awesome, are we gonna have people doing drifting around him in circles that he's running? You know, I
no,
don't
but
know.
if you go to Houston, you know you're gonna see the trunks popped open and they're gonna be swinging. Cause okay, so we have the Texas relays up here in
Uh-huh.
Austin every year, and a lot of people from here. That's when like Austin gets super saturated with black people.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Is that when all the 22s on the two-door cars come out?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's when all that when all the big body cars and traffic is already terrible downtown. Then it gets more terrible because it's like every black person in the United States is in Austin for this race, and then two, you got all the Houston cars
And coming in, yeah.
coming in swinging, not doing what people in Houston do. So like, and I didn't even
Playing that
know
screwed and chopped.
what the relays were,
Yeah.
but I knew it was a bunch of people from Houston there. I could like as soon as I saw the cars, I was like, oh, these people are from Houston. Like
Yeah.
I know that. So it's the same type of culture except with four wheelers.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want to see it in a
If you're okay, you would be
movie of
mad. So
Creed.
if you're black and you're from Philadelphia,
No, I wouldn't have been
and
mad.
you don't
man.
see those four wheelers, you'd be like, what are four wheelers at, man?
This was not just some movie about Philadelphia. It was like
But
it was about the legendary franchise that is Rocky. It was like passing the torch and the whole movie. Why are we talking about fucking Creed?
Hey, you the one who started. Oh, because of
I
Killmonger.
just realized. All right.
Michael
Because
B. Jordan.
Killmonger. He was
Have you
garbage
seen-
in fucking Black Panther. He sucked.
What?
His acting was horrible.
Okay, first of all, let me take that back because my what made it sound like he was amazing. He was not. But that's like Black Panther is my. No, I'll take that back. That was Fantastic Four. That was the thing I hated seeing him in the most. But
He didn't fit, man. Everything else was awesome, and they had all these other dudes like, and it wasn't even that. Okay, I get it. He comes from a different neighborhood.
I was about to say he wasn't supposed to fit.
But he doesn't. I didn't even feel his character. I felt like he was like forcing it. They could have got somebody better. They just got him because he was a face. Like he's well known.
Well, no, he's worked. Okay, so I've been following. Dang, now you done got me all hot, and I don't remember the dude's name. Ryan Coogler. So the guy who directed it. He's only directed like 4 movies, and each of his movies, Michael B. Jordan has been in. So his very first movie, Fruitvale Station. I don't know if you ever saw it. If you haven't, I'd recommend it.
All right.
It was on Netflix, but that was like a couple of years ago, so it might not be on there anymore. But Fruitvale Station was their first time working together, and then every movie he made after that, he was like their friends. Yeah. Or they became friends doing that. Like they didn't know each other before, and then he was just like, "You're gonna be." Basically, he's the Samuel L. Jackson to Quentin Tarantino.
The fucking like, Johnny to the Burton, huh?
Yeah, Johnny Depp to Tim Burton. It's like like some directors just have people.
The reason
but he's way better in Fruitvale Station.
Yeah, I'm not saying he can't do it. Apparently, people like him for some reason. Just they didn't give him nothing to work with, man. Other than maybe it was so hard to remember them one-shot fight scenes. Then I don't blame him. But as far as the story and acting in that movie and Black Panther, hated it. I wish I had a little meme doing the living color. Hated it. That I need to incorporate that.
All right, we're getting off Captain Marvel. I do want to talk about that,
but before, the reason I brought that up is we were talking about how black superheroes are always lumped into this thing where we got to save the neighborhood. Loved everything about Black Panther, but I hated that at the very end he went to go back to build a center to save these kids. We got to save these kids.
That's because of his dad. That's because of his dad.
I know, but I was just kind of like, they could have left it out, or maybe did that.
He probably would have left it.
They could have did that maybe in the beginning of the next film, and then just left this one movie intact. It didn't ruin it.
See, I think for me personally, I think that's where I'm about to say Captain Marvel. That's what Black Panther 2 is gonna
be about that.
It's gonna be about, because at the end of the movie, he tells Nakia that she can continue. He found a way that he can still be like with her, but yet not lock her up.
Yeah.
In a birdcage or whatever, by having her be the queen. I'm going to have you be the ambassador or whatever for the United States and do your thing.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
she's going to be out there at one of, the many sites that
Saving these
the
kids
Wakanda
on the
starts,
street.
and something's going to happen to her, like she's going to fall off the face of the, planet or whatever. Whether she hasn't checked in a while, just like they did in the beginning of the movie of Black Panther, but
Yeah.
instead of we know where she is, we're just here to extract her because of, the funeral or whatever. My dad died. It's
Yeah.
gonna be like I went solely to look for Nakia. Now I can't find her. Now I'm about to tear up these streets of you because really Black Panther only really messes with Wakanda. And the only time he goes outside of Wakanda is when
he's helping
something.
somebody or somebody comes out of Wakanda that he's looking for,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
So I think because the very first Black Panther comic that I got, how I got into Black Panther was the Marvel Knight series, which was like the dark kind of series of Marvel comics.
Okay.
Because they had Punisher, Daredevil, and Black Panther, and I got all three. And Black Panther was in the city, and he was in the city for kind of a similar reason, where something had happened in Wakanda, and he needed to investigate in New York. And so that was the only reason he was in New York. And so he was doing stuff in New York instead of
Yeah, that makes sense.
Wakanda or whatever.
All right.
So that's how I think it's gonna go.
Makes sense. Okay, we went way too long to Black Panther. But all right, getting back to Captain Marvel. That's what all this is about. So we never felt like it was a feminist film. Like that's what I was saying about Rocky. This is the other reason I brought up Rocky. All these times where she's like falling and getting kicked down and told I never took it as, oh, this is a feminist film, because they never said it. They never did anything to make me think that all it was like when Rocky gets hit, and this might be a problem with the people thinking this. When Rocky gets hit and gets pushed into the mud or whatever, it's all about how much heart he has. But when this girl gets pushed, because it's a guy. But when this girl gets pushed in, the same thing happened to her. People are like, oh, feminist film.
Yeah.
No, right? But that's not.
I'm quick to call out some feminist stuff. Like I hate Supergirl because it's a whole bunch of like feminist BS that I personally don't get down with or whatever. Like I want there to be equality and all that, because I know it's not.
Yeah.
Like I want it to be there, but don't be, and the same thing for when it comes to black stuff. It's like don't be a dick about it.
Yeah, but
like don't throw it in my face. Like talk about it. Let's have a discussion. Let's put it out there, but don't make everything about it.
And they weren't. That's what I'm saying. They weren't doing that.
That's why it's not a feminist film.
So I don't get where people are saying this, right? Like, what if they would have been like, at any moment in time, been like, yeah, women are the superior, this and that, and like nothing like that ever happened in the film. It was just a girl superhero, just like Wonder Woman,
female lead.
Yeah.
And it was a female director. I was a little bit disappointed because she's just a co-director.
Oh, okay.
And my bad. I don't mean to say that like you're just a co-director, but I thought it was a woman who did the the whole thing by herself. Well, not by herself, but she
kind of like Wonder Woman.
Yeah, like Wonder Woman. Speaking of Wonder Woman, that semi made me sad.
Why?
Not Wonder Woman.
I like that film.
No, I did too. But when I found out it was
except for the bad guy.
Oh yeah, he's terrible. To not be on Wonder Woman forever. It was cool. I'm not gonna watch it again. It was entertaining enough so that I was like, oh, this is the best DC movie that they've made. DC Extended Universe movie that they made. I was entertained throughout the whole thing. The bad guy sucked, yeah, but everything else was cool. But it didn't have enough rewatchability for me. But anyway, when I found out it was a female director, it was the first time that I actively thought, I don't know any female directors.
I remember you telling me that, yeah.
I can name you without even thinking about it, like 5 male directors right now. Like without taking the time to actually think of names, I could just boom, 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 round them off.
So what are you trying to tell me by that? Like,
but no female director. I just thought it sucked. I was just like, there are no female, or at least that have made
anything notable. Like, well, not notable, but like big.
Well, no, they've been made stuff big. Like it was a movie I watched recently. It had a female director, and it sucked. And I was like, man, you are not doing your people a good service. Like you already are not represented
You're in the
in
negatives.
Hollywood.
You're in the
Yeah, you're in
negatives.
the negatives, and then you gonna make a crap movie
Yeah.
on top of that. I was like, you're not helping.
I just
You
didn't.
could have
I,
read the script and been like, I'll pass.
I just feel like people were fueling the flames. They were like, "Well, let's just see what else we can hate about." You know, on let's see what other things we can bring up to hate about on this movie. Um, it just felt like they were just trying to pour more gas on the fire. You know, find more reasons. And
Yeah, they were.
even if she says, "Hey, we need more women, this and that," okay, fine. It's
We
glad
do.
you feel that. Yeah, we
Same.
do.
No female
Fine. You know,
directors for real.
but it feels like if like what me and you are saying right now, anyone who said that, they're getting fucking trashed in the fucking on social media right now, just
Yeah,
for being like, no, it's not
against
a film, feminist film.
the grain.
Eh, I don't know. People are blowing this shit out of proportion. Like you said, I got shit to do and a life to be getting mad and going up on Rotten Tomatoes and giving a movie, you know, a 0 or
Yeah,
whatever the fuck before that shit even came out. I thought that shit was dumb. And there's a certain class of people that are fucking like going after it, which is I don't
and they're
know.
gonna do it. You can't stop them
Yeah, I don't know.
from doing it or whatever.
They're just I feel like they're reading too much into it. All right, so I think we've talked that part to death. So what did you think about the movie?
The movie, I was
Like, because you came into it like me, we came in totally blind. Both of us did not
yeah,
watch anything. I saw
no.
a glimpse of a trailer and I turned it off. And that
I
was it.
saw her. The only thing I saw from the movie, I saw
I
her
saw how she.
suit,
Yeah.
and it was black and green, and I was like, why in the world
That's
is
the
her
same thing.
suit black and green?
And
Like I was like, oh man, y'all off to a bad start.
well, I saw a shot of her all powered up too.
I
I
didn't
saw
see.
that.
I just saw like a
Oh,
set
okay.
piece of
Yeah,
like it wasn't even like a finished product. It was just her on set in the black
yeah,
and green outfit, and I was just like, y'all already messing up. Why y'all changing colors? Because I was already mad that they changed Vision from
oh
his original
yeah.
colors, and I mean, I still like the way he looked in the movie, but I was like, why?
You just thought there was something they were purposely gonna like keep or do or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else? I was like, why would you do that? Why are you doing this to me again? But anyway, that's the only thing I saw, and then I had uh theorized, which I
Mhm.
wound up being correct, that it was gonna be a prequel
I didn't think that at
because
all. Yeah.
okay, so at the
Well,
end
I
of
did, but I didn't think it was gonna be a
uh,
prequel that far back. If that makes sense.
I did,
Yeah.
I did, I didn't have like a specific date, but I was like, this is probably years ago. Okay, so because one here's two clues.
hmm
One, the obvious of everybody, at the end of Infinity War got dusted
hmm
and
But that doesn't mean that could
oh,
be.
it's Captain America.
But that means it
I
could
mean,
just be up to.
Marvel.
It could just been after the first Avengers or whatever. I didn't know how far back.
Well, no, because I was like, she would have come up by now
Yeah.
if she was recent. So she has to. Okay, so since Iron Man, right?
Yeah.
Since this whole thing got set into motion, he's been talking about. He's been in the after credits talking about the Avengers initiative,
hmm
right? So since Iron Man, he's been building the Avengers. If he had Captain Marvel on his pager, in his back pocket this whole time, why wasn't she called? So in my mind, she must have been before the Avengers, and whatever happened, and since he was getting dusted, he was like, "Oh, this is next level. Like we've already dealt
Yeah.
with some crazy stuff that we never thought we were gonna have to deal with, but like I'm dusting away right now. I gotta call in my last card. I got this one chip left that I've been holding or whatever for whatever reason, but it's that time. Like I gotta call this chip in. So that was my first clue. Uh, and two, it was a pager.
Oh yeah, with the
Like
pager
it
and
wasn't some high tech,
yeah.
device. It wasn't some shield
Well, it was
was
a little bit
going
high
through.
tech. Remember? It was a
Well,
little
'cause,
bit,
yeah, because she upped it.
but it
But
was
at the
still a
end of the day,
pager.
it was a pager.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like it had the little
It had
dots,
that one
like
G.
the pixels. They had the pixels on there or whatever. So I was like, this is gonna be a prequel. This is gonna
Yeah.
be before, and we're gonna find out how he met
Mm-hmm.
Captain Marvel. Now, I didn't know he was gonna be in the movie like he was. Like I
Yeah, you
knew he
thought
was
he was
gonna
gonna
be
make a
in the movie.
cameo.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be a cameo. Like, okay, this like it was gonna have this whole Captain Marvel movie, and then the last, 15 minutes or an after credits deal, it was
Yeah.
gonna be him approaching her.
Yeah, I thought that was gonna happen too. So that's why it didn't make me really think it was gonna be a prequel. I was like, kind of like you know,
Thanks for stopping by, Nico.
yeah. Thanks, Nico. I do appreciate it, man. Awesome, buddy. Thank you.
Make sure to watch the rest of this
Yeah,
later.
yeah. Watch it when you're at work.
Or
uh,
pooping.
oh yeah, pooping. Don't do it. Nah, never mind. Anyways, yeah. So I mean, when the movie starts, it's like all in space and shit, and I thought it was cool because I thought it was gonna be, on Earth. I thought it was gonna start at the beginning of her story. I was like, what? She's already part of this like squad of people, and like she's already like kind of powered up, sort of. I'm like, whoa, okay. So I didn't really.
HP.
So when I saw it go into the '90s, as soon as that happened, I was like, "Oh, this is awesome!" Because, like I say, I went in blind. I didn't know any. I didn't expect that to happen at all. And then it being
Yeah.
in the '90s, which is the era where I grew up a lot, I loved it. Like I loved it, like the '90s feel, like with the car chases and the old technology and the phone booth and the blockbusters and all that shit. I love that shit.
Yeah, I want to watch it again solely. I mean, there's other reasons I want to watch it again, but one of my main reasons of wanting to watch it again is to focus more on the background
Yeah.
and see all the '90s stuff that they put
Yeah.
in or whatever. And that's kind of what I was talking about with Wonder Woman. Like there was nothing in Wonder Woman where I was like, I want to see that again. Like I enjoyed it when I saw it. Don't get me wrong. Like I was never like, is this movie over? It wasn't like Justice League or, you know, Batman versus Superman or
Mm.
anything like that. Where I was like, is this over yet? Can
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
like?
It's
Can
just
I
not. You didn't
go?
feel like you missed anything.
Yeah, I didn't feel like I
Yeah.
missed anything. But with this, just the '90s nostalgia,
It
and they're
felt.
getting a lot of flack. The movie's getting a lot of flack for that too. They were like the few people who do like this movie, they only like it because of their '90s babies, their '80s babies or whatever. So they're loving to see all the '90s stuff in
But it's
there.
not the
And I was
first
like, that's
movie.
not enough.
Yeah, because it's not the first movie who's ever done that. I
Yeah,
mean,
exactly.
I mean, it was
So
the
it's not
first
like
Marvel
something
movie to ever
new.
do that. But even so, what? Okay, so everyone that liked fucking Captain America must have fucking loved, what,
'50s or whatever.
50s or
Yeah,
whatever it was. Yeah, right. That must be a movie for my grandpa, or if
yeah.
he's still alive, great grandpa. But no, that had nothing to do with it because you loved Captain America 2, the first one, right? I didn't like it. We're split on
Oh,
this.
no, wait. Which one did I love?
So did you like the first Captain America?
Oh no, I hated that mess.
What? I thought you liked it.
No, I fell
Yeah,
asleep in the
I fell
first
asleep
Avenger.
too, hard. Now Captain
Now
America
Winter
Winter
Soldier.
Soldier.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, dude.
Winter Soldier, they were like, okay, we
I
put
was
some people to sleep
excited
with the first one. We got to wake these fools up.
when they were on that boat or whatever. The first thing that they were like infiltrating him and what is it,
Him and
Black
Bucky.
Widow? No. When it was just Captain America and Black Widow were infiltrating something. They
Oh,
were
okay,
being
yeah.
stealthy
Oh,
about
yeah, I
it,
remember
and
that
he
part.
drop kicked that one dude like off of the ship or whatever it
Oh,
was.
yeah.
All that mess, like from then on, the whole movie was a roller coaster ride, and I loved it.
Yeah, start to finish, that mess was
Yeah,
great.
but going back to the
I was
'90s
super
thing,
surprised.
yeah, I didn't feel like that's what it was at all. It was cool that he did it. They can do any era, and it would have been cool. I just so happen to like that one myself. But all that was cool to me.
Yeah. So yeah, I didn't know about the scrolls. Like I didn't know they were gonna be in it.
Oh, I saw one shot of that, so I knew they were
I
gonna
didn't
be
see.
in it.
I
I
didn't
saw like
see none of
one
that.
thumbnail because somebody spoiled it.
You know what? I got super geeked up
What?
when I saw it. Phil
What?
Coulson. When I saw Agent Coulson,
Oh yeah,
I was like, "It's Phil!" Like I was
they took it back.
so
They took it
happy. But
back. Yeah.
then, like, I got happy and then immediately sad because I was like, "Oh, they didn't bring him back. This is a prequel." So
You realized it, huh?
yeah, I realized it. But at first, I was like, "They brought him back into the movie world because he's in the TV world
Yeah.
or whatever, which is like semi in the same universe, but not really." Uh, they say it is, but let's be honest, it's
Yeah.
like semi. It's conveniently a part
Mm.
of the movie universe, but it's not really. But yeah, when Coulson showed up, I was like, I've never been happier to see anybody than to see Coulson. But yeah, then I immediately got sad. But I think me personally that the youngification or whatever you want to call it
Of Nick.
of him and Nick, well, Phil didn't really need that much.
Yeah, but Nick.
But Nick, I was like, man, if he don't look like he did on the Negotiator,
Yeah, dude, it was awesome. It looked great.
yeah, man, a lot of people have been bashing it, but I'm not gonna get into how I feel about that because you already know how I feel about non VFX people.
Oh yeah, no,
talking
So
about
so here's the
VFX.
thing, guys. If you're watching this, me and Will are both VFX artists. We've worked in the movie industry at some point in time or whatever. We've worked on it. It definitely irks us when somebody that has no idea about how things are done comments on something. And I'm not saying you can't have your own opinion, but it just feels like if it's something that it's obviously CG. We know Nick Fury isn't. How old was he in that movie?
Yeah, like probably
29, 30.
29, 30, yeah, early 30s,
They're like,
late.
oh, VFX. I can totally tell. Dumb
Like,
motherfucker.
duh.
How old is
Samuel
he
Jackson's
now?
like 60 years
And
old.
and how many movies have we seen him in? Like if Nick Fury or Samuel L. hadn't done a movie since like the first Avengers, and now you're seeing him now, it would have made sense for you to be like, I can't tell. There's no
Yeah,
difference. But we've seen him so many times. Of course, they're gonna know it's VFX. How else are they gonna fucking do it?
yeah.
It
Or
you know.
but
And I like how a lot of
whatever.
people. I like how a lot of people think it's a filter. It's easy at the filter. Yeah, man, that's exactly how movies work. It's
Yeah,
easy. Press the
we just
easy
use
button, huh?
Snapchat. We just
Yeah,
put on
Snapchat.
Snapchat,
Oh my
call it a
god,
day.
fucking idiots! I'll say it right
Uh,
now. Anyways, so what else did you like or dislike about the movie?
uh,
Can I
no,
go
go
back
ahead.
to Scrolls?
No,
So
go
I
ahead.
didn't know the Scrolls were gonna be in it. I was like, oh, okay, cool, Scrolls, because I've heard a lot about them. I got one friend, Darkwing. He's the one that kind of explained everything about the Scrolls to me because I didn't know everything about the Scrolls except for some of like cartoon stuff I saw and then what he told me. And I was like, okay, cool, the Scrolls. I hope they're gonna be intimidating. The shape shifting was awesome. I
Yeah, I
definitely
like the effect.
I definitely like the turn it took. I like how.
And they started off early,
What do you mean?
like early with the whole who's real, who's not real. Like as soon as the car chase starts,
Mm-hmm.
and well, not as soon as the car chase starts, but the car chase starts, and you're already on level 10. You're like, yeah, old school 90s car chase
Yeah,
or whatever. And then the wreck happens.
and you
Or
see
no,
them.
not the wreck happens, but right before the wreck, you
Yeah.
see it go back to Blockbuster, and you see Agent Coulson. You're like, wait a minute, what is he doing there? And it was like, oh my god, they switched already. They started like it's the first 15
Yeah,
minutes of the movie, and they already switching out people. And I was like,
but
this is gonna be great.
I definitely like the turn that the movie took with the scrolls, like because I didn't see that mess coming. I don't know. Did you see that mess coming? The story going from
Yes and
okay,
no.
we always know the scrolls are like a big bad race of. They're just baddies, right? They're bad
Mhm.
guys, and they've always been written as such. But I like the turn that it took, and to me, it doesn't. To me, it also feels like, hey, doesn't mean that all the scrolls are good. Every race of people has a different. We're all different. So let's
I've
say
heard all Latinos are cocaine smugglers.
we're all different. So
I'm pretty
just
sure that's
because
accurate.
just because there's some evil scrolls out there doesn't mean they all got to be that way, huh? Some of them could be refugees, like they were in this film. But I don't know if that's what they implied. Were they implying that the entire scroll race were nice, weren't the bad guys basically, or were they implying that only this particular unit of scrolls and this?
To me, they were implying that the entire race
Mm-hmm.
wasn't bad, and that the Kree had
Were the bad ones?
made
Yeah.
up this lie that everybody
Mm.
believed forever, because they who's gonna tell them different, that the Skrulls were the bad guys instead of the other way around. But and that's true. So like I said, I saw it coming, but I didn't see it coming at the same time. Two reasons. One, I knew about the whole Kree and Skrull backstory from the few comics that I had that dealt with
I didn't know anything about the
those
Kree.
two. And then two, because we watch Agents of Shield, the Kree are on Agents of Shield.
Are they bad guys?
And they're bad guys.
See, I figured. So I'm kind of like you, yes and no. I figured that the main guy that was training her or whatever, the leader of that unit, I figured he was going to be a bad guy. I didn't think
you can never trust Jude Law.
I didn't think the entire race of Kree were going to be bad guys, but they were.
Yeah, you can never like me and Elise were talking about it after. We were just like, we knew, like we both knew something was up with and I forgot his name, but Jude Law's character. But when it came out that he was the bad guy, we weren't like shocked or anything, but we just like, we knew it. You can't trust Jude Law.
Yeah,
Jude Law is always a shady character.
Yeah, I wasn't
like
shocked about him, but I was shocked about everybody else. Like
he's
maybe his
always
team,
super
but
shady.
it's like everybody else. So yeah.
But yeah, as soon as the movie starts and it starts with, the Kree or whatever, and they're having the conversation and they're, uh Carol is being all, nice to him and they're being nice to her.
Mhm.
We were like, are we really supposed they really want us to believe that they're the good? And then we were like, oh yeah, not a lot of people watch the TV show.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about it
And that's like
at
a whole
all.
season. Like the Kree
Yeah.
are a part of like actually like a whole
Oh.
2 seasons really.
Yeah.
One in the background, and in the second season that they talk about them, they're like full on in the foreground, and they're
Yeah.
clearly bad guys. But they do the same thing. They kind of manipulate the story, and they're not really bad guys. Like people don't like them, but not for the real reason they shouldn't like them. More so just for another reason. But so we saw that coming, but I knew it was going to come out that the Kree had been lying to her, but I didn't know they were full on going to be like, oh yeah, these people are harmless. They've only been like defending themselves or
Yeah.
whatever. Like,
Yeah.
they've been violent, but only to survive.
But it's like a war, you know? Like
Yeah,
you said
it's
in
a
the movie,
war.
it's like, you know, they've all done bad things, but it's a war.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it did kind of dampen my anticipation for Endgame,
What do you mean? Like it made you.
because I thought it was gonna play. Okay, so once I saw the scrolls before we got to the end of the movie, like very first, okay, here are the scrolls. I was like, oh snap, they got the scrolls in here. This is about to be awesome. And my wife knows nothing about the scrolls or whatever, so she didn't know about the whole shapeshifting thing. So I knew
Yeah.
immediately it was gonna be some switcheroos happening.
Yeah.
And I was like, that, without even seeing it yet, I'm like, I can't wait to play the who's real and who's fake game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Watching
Okay,
this
so you
movie.
like that part of it.
Yeah, I really like that part. And then the second thing that made me hype about the scrolls is that I was like, oh snap, that's gonna make a great addition to Endgame. Like I don't know what's going on in Endgame, but if they got the scrolls in there, that's gonna be awesome, because there's a
There's another
there's another aspect to the scrolls,
of
which I'm not gonna
danger
get
too.
into.
Yeah.
Just just in case they do
Do it
use it.
later on.
Yeah, I do use it later on, and I don't want nobody to be mad at me.
Oh.
But I was geeked up for that, but then they didn't show up in Endgame, so
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, I was looking forward
Okay.
to
So
seeing them.
as far as like Brie Larson, I had went in, and just before I went in, because I was like, oh, I'm not gonna watch this. It'll be fine. I'll watch it later on. I'll forget all the bad stuff. I started hearing more stuff, or allowing myself to start hearing more stuff. So I thought she was gonna be terrible in that movie. I thought she was gonna be unlikable, a terrible actress. She did great to me for what she was doing. She like joked around. She was likable. She made me laugh a few times. Her and Nick Fury's relationship played well together.
Yeah.
I mean, it seemed good to me, man.
The stuff I heard about Brie Larson was all the whole controversial stuff she said.
Mhm.
It was never about her in the movie, so I didn't have any like negative
So you didn't hear
connotations
that. Yeah.
going in that she
Yeah.
was like a horrible actress. However, I wasn't looking forward to seeing her.
Well, neither was I. Yeah, neither was I.
Because not anything against Brie Larson, but before they even announced the Captain Marvel movie years ago, I wanted Emily Blunt
from
to play. Did you see Quiet Place?
Yeah,
The wife
the
from
wife.
Quiet Place.
I
I wanted her to play it strictly off of. We rented. Did you ever see that Tom Cruise movie Edge of Time?
No, I never saw that.
Okay, you should watch that.
She's in
That was
that?
surprisingly good. She was doing these action scenes, and I was like, you know what? Because I had only seen her in like a couple of things before, and they were always like drama or whatever.
Mhm.
I was like, you know what? Emily Blunt can do these action scenes. It would be dope if they made a Captain Marvel movie, and they made her Captain Marvel. Not because she looked like Captain Marvel, because in retrospect she doesn't. She's actually a terrible cast for Captain Marvel. I think Brie Larson was like a great choice.
Yeah.
Like after seeing her in the movie.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But initially I wanted Emily Blunt. And when I found out they had cast Brie Larson, I was like, oh, forget Brie Larson. Bring Emily Blunt. Get her out of here. So I had that was my bad, like going into the movie about her.
I had also seen, like, right before I gone in, how like none of the other people that are like play Avengers, nobody likes her. Like there's this friction with them at all times. Don Cheadle hates her apparently. Thor, the guy who plays Thor,
Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, Chris Hemsworth or whatever hates her.
And that's fine.
But it's not just her; it's like everybody. The reason they say that they hate her is because she steps on everybody's toes and puts herself above. She's conceited. She's a diva on set. But I mean,
people say, and I'm not saying they're wrong to say that's their, choice. That's their opinion. I'm cool with that. Like if you don't like somebody, you don't like somebody. I don't like plenty of people. But that's not a reason to not, go for the moviegoers. That's not a reason to not go see the movie because there's other actors who have the same type of who's that? Crap, what's his name? He was Lex Luthor in the original Superman.
In the original Superman?
The original Superman.
What was his name?
I can't think of his
Gene Hackman?
Gene Hackman. Yeah, Gene Hackman I heard is an absolute terror.
Really?
On the set. Matter of fact, okay, so since you old enough to, have seen the original Superman, you remember how Lex had a full head of hair?
Yeah. Yeah.
The reason why was not because some writer didn't know anything about Superman or Lex Luthor or whatever. He was like, I'm not shaving my head.
Wow.
And I'm not going to wear a ball cap.
Well, they're saying that. Well, go ahead.
The only reason he's bald at the end of the movie is because it's like one scene and it's for a couple of minutes that they had to beg him to do that. But he was like, y'all can take me as is with my curly hair or I'm bouncing.
But then he came back and I still think he still wasn't bald. Was that in the first film?
Yeah, well, it might not have been in the first. It's been a while since I've seen the Superman. But there is a scene I know for a short period of time where, matter of fact, I think he wears a wig. I think he goes bald from, pulling his hair out or something.
Yeah.
And then gets a wig to put on because I think it comes off at some point.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I don't remember it anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like one of the first people I heard about when I was younger, being like just a diva.
Yeah.
Whatever. But it is what it is.
Yeah, it doesn't make me go on fucking Rotten Tomato and make
exactly
tons of demeaning and hateful comments on social media. It's like fucking whatever. I don't care.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect me. But yeah. So anyways, her relationship and Nick Fury's relationship together, all that was good. She was good. Everything was good about it. I mean, not everything about the movie was good.
Yeah, not everything was good. It had its problems, but
What did
overall,
it
was a good movie.
A fine movie. But they were like, oh, it wasn't good enough this late in the Marvel game. Whatever, it did its own thing. It's whatever. I mean, it's not like
it wasn't freaking first Avenger.
Yeah, we didn't.
Or Thor.
It wasn't. What is it? Dark World. Is that what it's called? Thor: Dark World.
Hey, I like Thor: Dark World better than Thor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I guess you're right. They progressively get better. So it's still like Thor 2 isn't right home about, but it was definitely better than first Thor.
All right, so word on the street says, all right, going back to Lex, Superman drops him off in prison with his cousin. Is the only bald one. So his cousin is the only bald one. Yeah, I think I remember that because they always had that bumbling cousin, right?
Yeah.
Also, thanks for still being here and watching,
thanks,
man.
Word. Fact checking.
Yeah. What else did we see?
I heard a lot of people, and this is another thing. Here's my thing. Everything we're gonna say, I, for the most part, 90% don't agree with.
What do you mean?
For the reason people didn't like the movie. So another reason people said they didn't like the movie is they didn't like the way Nick Fury acted. They were like, that's not how Nick Fury acts. And I'm like, first of all,
I was gonna say, go ahead. You're gonna say the same thing.
20 years prior to what we know Nick Fury. I'm pretty sure our parents were cool at some point.
Yeah.
At least some of our parents were cool people. And then, life happened.
Yeah,
exactly. I used to be a more jovial person.
He was, I remember.
Than I am now. Then I started getting bills.
I've known you since we're like 10 years now.
10 years, yeah.
And yeah, he used to be a lot more cheerful. He used to walk like he had a jaunty walk. Not no more.
No, because I'm weighed down by life, man. Like life happens at some point for everybody, different times. But you got to think, in this movie, he was a desk jockey. He was pushing paper. And he just happened to be out on that call. Like S.H.I.E.L.D. wasn't what S.H.I.E.L.D. is now. And he wasn't the
head of it yet.
The head of S.H.I.E.L.D. yet. He didn't have all that pressure on him. Like he's got to be serious and cold. And
because he's always constantly working multiple cases.
Yeah.
A lot of the time. It's all going on at the same time. But I actually liked it. I was like, cool. We get to see him
before.
And also get to see another side of him. Like when he was singing at the end, I thought that was awesome. I don't know why I thought it was awesome, but I was like, you got to see some of his personality. Maybe that's why I
Yeah,
thought it was awesome because he
yeah,
wasn't
I
always.
loved it
Yeah.
personally because like I said, you're looking back before what you knew him as now, or that's like saying like watching a current Jackie Chan movie and being like, oh, Jackie Chan's overrated. It's like the man's 60 years old.
Oh,
He
you mean
can't
like a
do
new Jackie Chan
yeah,
movie?
like
Yeah,
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 new
yeah.
Jackie Chan movie.
Yeah,
You
but if
can't
you
get
go back,
mad
yeah,
at Jackie Chan and throw dirt on his name and be like, oh man, Jackie Chan sucks. It's like the man is
yeah,
old now. He could barely do it
a
when
few
he was
years back,
young because
yeah,
he kept breaking
yeah,
everything, which I, thank you, Jackie
yeah,
Chan, for breaking all the bones that you did break because it was awesome
yeah.
to see you do all those stunts or whatever. But it's like you can't do the same type of movie,
Yeah, you can't do it
40
over and
years
over
later.
again, yeah, and it'd be all the same, right? Um, so what else is there to talk about? What about the relationship between uh Carol Danvers and her best friend that were pilots? Did you feel that at all?
I like that,
Yeah.
and I really like the fact that she wasn't like stereotypically black.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm
Like
saying.
when she came out the house, she was like, "Oh, girl,
Yeah, I
hey,"
know. Had a gold
you
tooth with
know,
a star in it right here.
yeah,
None
like
of that.
she was normal.
She's
She
a normal
was just
person. She's a
a
person. Like
normal
they made an
person.
actual
Yeah,
character. They actually made a character pretty fast. Like I feel like I known her from another movie before that. Like you know how sometimes you're
yeah,
not sure
I seen it
about a
before.
person and then you're kind of like, okay, well, I understand her personality. And it felt good. It felt fine.
Yeah,
People are
I
hating on that because they're like, oh, female pilots, feminism.
like there are female pilots. They exist.
Yeah,
They're not unicorns. You don't see them that often. I give you that, but it's not like they don't exist or whatever.
yeah.
Another thing people said that they were like, "Oh, she wasn't military. She's supposed to be in the military, but she didn't act like she was in the military.
Mm.
Captain America is a real military person." And I was like, "Okay, here's the difference. Captain America, you didn't really see him. I mean, you did in the first Avengers see him in the beginning stages or whatever, but he wasn't defiant. He was, determined. They were like, "You get out of here because you're a little scrawny weakling."
Yeah.
And in Captain Marvel, she's a different type of soldier because she's constantly like as a woman, she's not getting told because of an obvious reason. Like Captain America got told legit reasons why you should get out of here
Yeah.
or whatever. She was told just because she was a woman. And there are countless rogue. Look at freaking Martin Riggs in Lethal Weapon. He was a rogue. He didn't follow directions. He didn't follow orders or whatever. And there's tons of other like I'm not gonna get into a whole list of them,
Hmm.
but there's tons of movies where you got freaking Tom Cruise in Top Gun. He didn't follow orders. He did whatever he wanted to do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
There's different personalities, to be honest.
there, yeah, there's
And
certain people
Captain
who just
America
like
was boots on the ground in your
yeah, he
face. He
was
has
boots
to be
on.
like that.
Yeah, he
This girl's
was.
up in a plane launching missiles from 100 miles up or whatever the fuck. So
Yeah,
I mean,
but
you could be
they
a little
they
bit
got on. They
easier going.
ragged on the movie about that, and I was just like, there's different type of soldiers. There are soldiers who are like die hard, sir, yes sir, woo ha,
Hmm.
born to do this. And then there's other people who want to do it, but they're like, look, I'm
Yeah, right.
I'm
That is true.
down,
So whenever you watch,
down for
uh
this, but you got to ease up.
you're
Like,
right. You're right. Because whenever you see a movie where it's about a ragtag group of soldiers, the main character is always the boots on the ground, tough guy,
yeah,
determined. But what do you always see? You have a
you see
squad of people with all these different
the Joker.
personalities. There's always a little nerdy one, you know,
Yep,
that you
like
wouldn't expect to be there,
Full
but
Metal
he's
Jacket. You
there.
got the whole
You
spectrum.
got a dummy. You got a pretty boy that likes to, whatever the fuck, combing his hair and shit, and
Yep.
talking about getting the ladies and this and that when we get back to the base. So guess what? This time they decided to focus on a different person on that group instead of just, they already did
The
Captain
whole
America.
team.
We don't need another
Yeah.
one.
Yeah,
But you
exactly.
know what was kind of weird to me though? Whenever she's in the movie, for the most part, she's a likable, fun-going personality. But the second you see her in you know, what was it? Was it at the end? No, the second you see her in Endgame, she's like hyper serious. Like they've totally changed
And
the
it's
character.
the same thing as Nick Fury. It's been 20 years.
It's actually probably been more for her because of the light
Oh
years
yeah.
that she's flying. But then again, I guess time doesn't change for her. I think they explained it. Like I don't know how it works.
Yeah, because now she's like basically she's
But
part Kree.
she's done seen some shit too.
Yeah,
Like because she's
yeah,
been out in the
exactly. It's
universe
the
fighting
same thing.
all these
Time
battles.
has gone on, and I'm not a kid anymore. Because
Crimson.
I mean, in the movie, she's supposed to be, 20 some years old.
She's really young. Yeah.
She's young. You're acting like a young person would act, and then now after you've gotten these powers and realized your responsibility,
Yeah.
you've been doing this mission, and like you said, you've seen some stuff or whatever. You've been doing this stuff for all of these, these 2 decades or whatever. You don't got time for jokes like that. Like that could get somebody killed.
Even 10 years ago, like me and you have changed a lot. Remember us in school? In
Yeah.
in VFX school?
Yeah, wild
And remember
stuff.
us now? Jesus. It's
Yeah,
a big difference.
we're adults. We got responsibilities.
Yeah. And I guess she also has to put on a
stuff.
face. When you see Clark Kent on the streets, he might be putting on a facade though, but
he's putting on a facade.
Well, he has that. His real personality is that farm boy. He's always that farm boy. So he acts totally different. But when he's Superman, he's like, this clean cut, straight up,
Yep.
like basically
everything's gonna be okay, confident.
Yeah, confident, Captain America style. Confident, everything's gonna be good. Totally
different. All Might. He's All Might.
He's All Might. Yeah. All right. So word on the street says Crimson Tide. What does he mean by that? Denzel and Gene Hackman, two different soldiers in a submarine taking orders in different ways. Yeah. Okay. Got you, man. So that's a perfect example right there.
Yep.
All right. So what else do we got to talk about on this movie? What didn't you like about the movie? Can we talk about that? What did you think about the build up to what happened to Nick's eye? And there's spoilers.
I thought it was hilarious.
We never announced spoilers in this.
I thought it was hilarious.
I thought it was hilarious.
They kept teasing it. Mm-hmm. They kept teasing it, throughout the whole movie. And when it reminded me of another movie.
Here's what it reminded me.
Somebody I think they lost an arm in the movie I'm talking about.
Oh, Hot Tub Time Machine. I thought about that too.
Hot Tub Time Machine. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly
like Hot Tub Time Machine, where they kept teasing like, "Oh snap, this is how." Oh, he didn't lose it. Oh no, he didn't.
He's juggling chainsaws at one point, and then one of them, he slips on ice. And like, whoa, but he then catches it at the end. I'm like, ah.
Yeah, that was like my favorite part about Hot Tub Time Machine. I don't really remember anything else, but just being excited every time I thought he was gonna lose an arm. And
but yeah, I thought it was cool because no matter what they would have did, people wouldn't have been happy. So like, even though this is a bad example, so Wolverine on the first X-Men movie, and pretty much anything to do with Wolverine, he always has this memory loss thing, right? Yeah. And a lot of times in most comics, the way they do it is he went through that severe punishment of getting the adamantium put into, injected into his bone system, and all that. It just traumatized him. It was extremely tough on his psyche. Lost his memory, right? Yeah. That happened in the movie, but he didn't completely lose his memory or whatever. They should have made that be the reason why. But guess what? At the end of the movie, like once I think Origins or the second, one of the two movies, he gets shot in the head with a adamantium bullet, right? Mm-hmm. And apparently that hits his skull hard enough to make him lose his memory. Dumb, right? But it was a serious approach to why he lost his memory. So no matter what they would have did to Nick's eye, he would have been like, not good enough. Because that's all I hear, man. Yeah. Oh my God, I can't respect this film anymore. And they're just making a joke and a mockery of it. I thought it was funny, man. I thought it was, you didn't see it coming. I don't care who you are. You did not see that coming.
You didn't see that mess coming. And it's like,
and I liked how way he played up on it. Because I think in the future, he's always telling people, or at some point, he tells somebody, the last time I
trusted somebody, I lost an eye. That was an eye.
That was the last time. Yeah, someone. He said someone. He didn't say. Yeah, someone. Yeah.
But and he did trust him. He did
totally trust him. Hey, he loved that cat.
Don't eat me. Yeah. Like he had become friends with that cat, and the cat scratched his freaking eye. Which even if it wasn't an alien, the cat would have done it anyway because cats are jerks.
Yeah.
Cats scratch up their owners all the time, but. Yeah, I thought that mess was hilarious. I was like, man, out of all the stuff that could have happened to your eye, it was a cat, and it got like. Granted, it was an alien cat.
That makes more sense though, because he could have a type of bacteria that just it immediately shot that eye out.
Yeah, it just infected it to death. Which I was thinking, are all cats that alien? I can't remember the name. It was like a Frohloin, like a
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
friggin'
Was it just this one particular cat,
yeah. It
or
was that
are
one
all
particular cat.
cats
Are
that?
all cats secretly,
Yeah.
you know, those aliens or whatever? Like they came to Earth, however many years ago, and they just been multiplying and staying ever since. Because that would be great if
Yeah.
all the cats were aliens, like every cat you ever knew, like
Eh,
cats on Earth.
I like better the idea of it just being that one cat to me.
Because it kind of reminded me of the uh Love, Death, and Robots.
Yeah, the thing with the
Yeah,
third one, yeah,
that
or
one. It
second
kind of
one or
reminded
something.
me of that. But yeah, that was you know what was funny that me and Elise really loved? We probably shouldn't have, but we thought we hadn't seen it before, so we were like, you know what? Whoever thought of that joke, great. When they first go into space and the cat and the zero gravity hits,
Hmm.
well, not the zero gravity, but the force of like leaving the Earth's atmosphere, and the cat is like pinned up against the box.
Yeah,
Just seeing the cat pinned up against the box due to the force of launch was hilarious to us. It shouldn't have been that funny, but we were dying.
yeah. It had a lot of funny moments in there. That's what I think was awesome. It was funny. Maybe I guess they pushed it too far sometimes, but Marvel films always do that. I definitely like that part where she's fighting the scrolls in the beginning, and they're like they're like vicious. They're like trying to really get her, and they like start like yelling at her and roaring at her, and then she like
Yeah, and
yells
she
back and
roars
makes this
back at him.
makes this silly face, kind of like that, and then kicks him in the fucking face or something,
Yeah,
or in the balls. That was awesome. Like immediately from that point on, I liked her. Like I was like, oh,
yeah, I
okay, she's
was
gonna be likable because I thought she
I
was
was
gonna be
sold on it.
military the whole time, and I think that would have made her more boring. Especially since I wasn't excited to see this at all, and it just made me, as time went on, I started liking it more and more and more.
Yeah,
Um,
I was like, well, I'm not gonna say I was like, I know we talked about it before. You weren't excited to see
at
it
all,
at all.
no.
I had just no, I didn't have negative or positive feeling towards it. Like I was gonna see it because it's part of the MCU,
Hmm.
and I want to be caught up on all the connections. Like I think Captain America, is all right. I'm not. I keep saying Captain America. Captain Marvel is all right,
Hmm.
and I know her backstory and all that. I just
I didn't,
never
I
got
didn't,
into her.
I
Like I
didn't.
know who
Mhm.
she is and all that, and I know how she affects other Marvel characters, and I know what costume she has.
Mhm.
So like that scene where
Yeah, I was gonna bring that
Monica's
up.
changing her
Her little
costume.
dial to change the colors to
Yeah,
pick up
I was
because
telling Elise all
yeah,
of her old costumes. Like
the,
not during the movie because I didn't want to
yeah,
be a jerk
yeah.
and be talking during the movie. But afterwards, I was like, so when they showed the white and green outfit, that was this outfit. When they showed
Yeah.
the black and gold, that was this
Black
outfit.
and gold, man. I'm all about that black and gold. I love that
Yeah, I
costume.
like that one.
That
I
was
like that
dope.
one.
I thought that
That's
was the only one. I didn't know they did a bunch of them. Like I didn't
yeah,
know all of them.
they went through all of them.
Wait, even the
That's
neon
cool.
one, or was that just a joke?
That was just a joke.
Oh,
That was
okay.
just a joke. That was a joke. But the white and green one was not her suit, but Marvel's suit. So
Mmm.
when that's his Kree, that was his Kree like uniform. So you know how her suit had the like Spartan helmet
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
at certain points. That was his suit with the Spartan helmet, but instead of being red, it's green, and then the main part of the suit is white, and all the like highlights and stuff are green.
Hmm.
But that was his first suit before he that was not his first suit, but that was his like uniform. But then the red and blue that she winds up taking, it was his like superhero when he pretended to be the Earth superhero.
Hmm.
When he wasn't, doing his military stuff. When he was Captain Marvel or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
that was what his colors were. But his like uniform was the Kree uniform with green and white,
let me
like that.
let me ask the chat something. If you guys are still there, if anybody's still there, or if you're watching this in the future, what did you guys think about the movie? Like, one, did you watch it? Two, what did you think about it? Good, bad, and you know, I guess like what else can I ask them? I just really all I want to know is if you watched it and if it was good or bad. That's mainly what I want to know. I guess maybe were you excited going in, or did you just watch this because you knew it was going to be part of, you know, the entire Marvel series? I mean, that's kind of like what I did, but I ended up
Yeah, that's the
liking
only
it.
reason.
What does everybody think about her inclusion in this? Should they have just like once we've seen Endgame, we'll talk about Endgame at a separate time. Do you feel like this movie could have just came like it could have just completely been written off and came after all this? Like it could have been like, okay, Captain Marvel plays absolutely no part because she kind of doesn't, other than coming in as reinforcements there at the end. Um, I feel like another character could have did that and redeemed himself because he never did redeem himself in my eyes.
I already know what you're
You
talking
know what
about.
I'm talking about,
I
yeah.
already know what
So
you're talking
we'll
about.
save that for the end game.
Yeah.
But it was cool. It was kind of cool, awesome, cool. But one, I think she's OP. What do you think? Think she's OP or no?
Uh, she.
Or have we just not figured out any of her weaknesses yet?
Yeah, we just haven't figured out who. I mean, she is super powerful. She is like top tier powerful people in the
In the Marvel universe?
MCU.
Yeah.
Uh,
I know about that.
so, but she. I mean,
Like
she
in the comics,
we do know that she gets beat up by somebody special,
yeah, which
in
is
the
cool,
MCU,
which is good.
which is great.
Yeah, but it wasn't like. Well, yeah. Go ahead.
But yeah, I don't see. Here's a lot of people were, and
so
that
yeah.
X-Men chick was one of them where they were like, oh, I don't want to see Captain Marvel because she's just gonna come in and be the, the what's the term? I don't know.
Uh-huh.
Whatever that movie term where it's just like, oh, this is the secret to making everything right. Like we just bring Captain Marvel in, boom, she beats Thanos, and call it a day, a cop out or whatever.
But that didn't happen though. That was a good part.
And that didn't happen.
That's what I liked about it. Yeah.
Eat it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking too because it felt like maybe they were gonna give her a bigger part though, because she has a really small part in the entire movie. Like to be honest, she wasn't even part of the team. In the comic books, I thought she was gonna lead the Avengers, and I was actually happy that didn't happen though.
Yeah, I'm happy that it didn't happen.
Yeah,
and I like the fact that not only so I don't think that she was not really supposed to be in the movie. I think they totally meant to put her in the movie because they have dialogue where War Machine is like, "Where have you been at? We've been getting our butts handed to us." And she's like, "Look, this is Earth. I grew up here. I get that, and I don't want to see y'all die. But at the end of the day, there's a million other planets.
Yeah,
and I'm dealing with those million other planets. So just losing one planet is not really high on my priority list.
Yeah,
and y'all are here."
Yeah.
And she said, like, Earth has Avengers.
Yeah, y'all are here.
These other planets don't have Avengers. So I'm doing y'all's job. I'm doing a team's job for a million other planets. I got things to do. Basically like us. Like, I ain't got time. She was calling the Avengers, the people on Rotten Tomatoes, giving the bad reviews. It's like, I ain't got time. I got other stuff to do.
Yeah, she was doing that number, huh?
Or whatever. And when she had time, she showed up and she did do some damage. You know what I'm saying? But she wasn't. I think what the problem was is everybody hyped it up because everybody was so up in arms about her that it made her. We the people made her bigger than what she actually was.
Yeah.
When reality, the movie was like, no. I mean, she's gonna be in it, but she's not.
So people were jumping the gun then.
Yeah, people were jumping the gun, just like you would think in freaking any movie, the powerful person or the person that is the most popular is gonna do the most work.
Yeah.
When in reality, they might, because like in Justice League, you would expect Batman and or Superman to be running the show.
Yeah.
Because they're the leaders, but in reality, it was kind of not really like Superman's in the movie for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And Batman was not doing everything. Like they showed a lot of Flash, they showed a lot of Aquaman and Wonder Woman doing stuff. So and ultimately that's a better movie than just watching one person do all the work. Like why do I have a team movie if I got one person doing all the work?
Yeah, exactly.
What's the point of even having those other superheroes if it's just going to be the main powerful person is going to do all the work? Yay.
So is there anything else we should talk about that we didn't like about the movie? Is there anything you really just didn't like about the movie? that lowered it for you?
What was it
To
that I
me,
didn't?
well,
I didn't like that they made. Now the one, the one thing I could be like, this was semi-feminist,
mhm,
but it's not. But the one thing, like, if I had to like jump on the bandwagon,
mhm.
is they made Marvel a woman
Yeah,
instead of being a dude, and I was
change
like,
that.
he's kind of an important character. I mean, he is an important character, and
They just
you
pull the old
change him.
switcheroo. But fuck,
Yeah,
Spider-Man is doing it in all kinds of ways, man. They're doing it like crazy over there. They're just having a fucking field day.
and I'm not really down with it. I mean, as a comic book person, as a movie person, obviously it doesn't change anything
Uh huh.
or whatever. Like, she has a mentor. That mentor winds up being an alien, and story progresses from there. So the story still stays the same. The only difference is, me as a comic book nerd, I'm like, oh well, he was a man or
Yeah.
whatever, or she was white, or he was black, or you change, or they were old, they were not young, or young and not old, whatever the case may be. That's nitpicking stuff.
Yeah.
Uh, but I didn't like the fact, even without the woman thing, they didn't show Marvel being Captain Marvel first. Like, instead of trying to shoot, like, I would like have, when the ship went down, that she was like, all right, I know this is about to freak you out, but
Oh,
we
held
got
out her
time.
hands.
And
Yeah.
then boom, turned into, used her Kree powers
Yeah.
and put in a little bit of work before she got killed.
Yeah. Even like one blast would have been cool.
Yeah, just one blast. Just give me one blast.
She was already really messed up. So.
Yeah,
But
so I didn't like that they didn't show
yeah.
that, because it doesn't really. I mean, they showed later that the explosion of the engine with the Tesseract in it, gave her
I
her
kind of didn't like
powers.
that part about it. I was kind of like, that's it. I mean, that's. I was
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
like, it was underwhelming, and it was kind of like, it was just that one stone. And then also, why did she absorb it? If anyone standing there would have been there, would, like, if I would have absorbed it, would I be Captain Marvel? Because there was no special
pretty much. I mean,
attributes
same thing with
towards
Bruce
her. Like,
Banner. He just happened to be the one that got hit with the gamma
yeah, I
radiation.
guess so. But I thought there was more to the story.
No, well, in the original comic, it's not an engine that blows up. Like, the stone isn't part of the story at all.
But something blows
The
up.
same thing happens where
Ah.
the ship gets shot down, and Marvel has to defend, or tries to defend, Carol, and winds up, losing the fight. But before he dies, he transfers, like, he's like, I'm not gonna let you die, because they have this bond or whatever. And so he winds up using a device to transfer his DNA
Mhm.
into, not his DNA, but like Kree DNA into her, basically to save her life.
Yeah.
Kind of deal. Kind of like how
So she does. So she does transfer
yeah, she
to her. So
does
that makes more sense. They should
yeah.
have did that. They could have made
Yeah.
her do the one blast and kind of explain something to her, or did the whole mind thing, because she was already seeing. Wasn't she already seeing visions, or not yet? No, she
No,
wasn't.
she wasn't seeing them.
But they could have did something like that, and then just transferred the power, through the blast. I don't know, something. Just felt like convenient. I don't know.
I would have liked the original story better. Here comes Carter.
Welcome back, Carter. Yeah, man, don't worry. We're going to be doing Endgame soon, too, man. We just thought we'd get this out of the way. We know it's late. I haven't put it in everything that I advertised on. I know this is a little late, but we felt like going over it. So, it is what it is, but I think we're about to finish it. So the other thing I didn't like about it was, the one of the only other things I didn't like about it was how she got her powers, and then I guess the story could have felt bigger, like that could have felt bigger, but you can only tell so much in that 2 hour, time limit. So I can't complain too much about that. There was something else I didn't like. Go ahead and talk while I think about it.
Did you peep the Guardians of the Galaxy Easter egg in there?
What was it?
Well, technically there's two of them. Well, they weren't really Easter eggs, but they were callbacks. So, Amistad, that's what I call that dude, because I can't pronounce his name. The Black Kree.
No.
The Black Kree, the black dude. He's been around forever. He's a super old actor. Well, he's not super old, but he's been around.
Wait, what part of the movie was he in?
The whole movie. He had the blades. He had the two katanas. Oh,
he was one of the Kree
one of the
guys.
Kree.
Okay.
Yeah, he's one of the Kree.
Yeah.
So he was the person who found Star-Lord in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Wait, what part did they find?
So in the very beginning, when Star-Lord first gets the relic that he doesn't know has the Power Stone in it. So the very beginning of the movie where they're dancing to where he's dancing to I Want You Back by the Jackson 5.
When he's a kid.
Like when the movie, no, like, okay, not the very beginning. So the very beginning is when he's a kid. But then when it shows him in space and he gets out of the ship and he turns on his headphones and he starts dancing and he's like kicking the little alien creatures as he's dancing, and he does his whole Raiders of the Lost Ark thing where he finds the treasure. And when he finds it, this dude shows up and is like, you know, basically does like a Boba Fett with Jabba the Hutt, like comes to get, well, not Boba Fett, but Greedo comes to get Han Solo or whatever. Like, you're coming to.
Oh, I do remember him.
To Ronan.
Wait, did they have a fight? Or the ones that
they had a little fight.
I remember that
fight. That's him.
Yeah. Wow, I didn't realize that at all.
Yeah, that's him. Damn. And then the Kree that she sees in the ship, which that's the part I didn't like. So when she's blowing up all the Kree ships at the end of the movie, and she comes to the last one with the leader, and she just lets him go instead of destroying the ship, or whatever. That leader is the bad guy that's Ronan from Guardians of the Galaxy. Before he went like super evil, before he put on like the face paint.
I remember that. Yeah, Ronan.
Yeah, before he put on the face paint and all that.
Film, right?
Yeah, because he didn't have the black face paint on.
Exactly.
That was like it's not face paint. It's like some ancient.
Is it something taking over him, or like something infesting him?
Yeah, it's like something infesting him.
Yeah, I definitely noticed that part. I did notice that. You know, I know what I didn't like about the film, and it's not like a deal breaker or nothing. But like one of the things that unless I missed it, they never called her Captain Marvel, not once, did they? They never once called her Captain Marvel. Even in Endgame, she's never called anything. They call her Carol. But
wait, hold on.
Never Captain Marvel.
Now they do the whole. No, they don't. He talks about Marvel, and that's when he starts singing.
They're like, just say Marvel. Yeah.
And he's just like, it's spelled like Marvel or whatever.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But yeah, they don't call her. But there's another. I can't think of it right now. But there's another movie where a superhero doesn't get called.
They don't even call her Captain. And what was she a captain of?
Well, she was a captain.
Maybe in the Kree.
In the Kree, the Kree deal.
But they never even called her just captain. You know?
Yeah, they called her Verge, which I thought that was cool.
Verge?
I thought Verge was like the name they just gave her. Like it was some Kree. Like it was a Kree name.
Yeah.
And then when it does the reveal that's the part of the dog tags that they could see.
Oh, yeah. I like that part,
Said Verge. I was like, oh, that was cool. That was because I was wondering where the name Verge.
I was like, and I was kind of wondering, like, when are they going to call her Carol? Because they even called her something before that, like another human name, too. Or something like that. I remember.
They only called her Verge. And it wasn't until she showed up to her best friend that they.
Because wasn't Nick calling her something before? Because he didn't know her name either. He was like, "Who the hell are you?"
He called her something 90s related. Like he, like it was like an in joke.
That might be what I was thinking, man. He was calling her out. Like,
I can't remember what he called it, but it was like a rock band or something.
You know what else I like that happened between them two? So remember how they were always kind of like, okay, we got to make sure that neither one of us are Skrulls, and there's always this checkoff list that you gotta ask people questions that they would only know from years ago. I like how she's questioning him, asking him all these questions.
That was stupid to me.
Hold on,
but the scene was funny. Go ahead.
So the part where she's just like because she has no idea that they've never seen any kind of super beings, not really. So anyways, she's like, all right, so let's prove how you aren't Kree, and she like shoots the jukebox. She shoots out a beam and shoots the jukebox. He's kind of like, what does that mean? How am I supposed to know? Like, how am I supposed? How does that prove? No, he goes, how does that prove anything? It wasn't stupid because it would have been stupid if he was like, oh, okay, yeah, I get you. But of course he was kind of like bewildered. Like, I don't know. Krees can't.
Well, no,
I don't know Skrulls can't do that. I didn't know Skrulls can't do that. That's what he,
Yeah, she was like, Skrulls can't do that. He was like, how am I supposed to know that? I just found out about him like an hour ago.
I like that part. I like that.
No,
what do you think was stupid?
We found it funny. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But when she brought it up as a means to test if he was a Skrull, and she was asking him questions, me and Elise were like, she don't know the answer to these questions.
The same thing for her though, right? Because she didn't know where any of those places were.
It's just like,
but she pointed it out too. Like, I don't got time to, figure that
But
out.
she's the one who came up with this whole like first we got to find, we got to verify.
Well,
that,
the
you're not a
Kree
scroll.
themselves would do that. It was just a protocol thing. So I don't know.
Yeah, but they knew the answers.
Yeah.
They knew that. She knew nothing about him. So it was like,
How
he
does she
could tell
know?
you anything and still be a scroll.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Like,
All right.
like you literally know nothing about this dude.
Yeah.
Except that his name is Fury.
I thought they
'Cause you saw
explained
it
a
on his
way
name
around
tag.
it, though. I thought they explained
No.
something. No?
No, they didn't. And it's like, that doesn't work for either one of you to figure out. And I was really hoping that one of them would be a scroll
Yeah.
at some point. I was
They
like,
never
that
did
would
that,
be.
huh? They never did that.
Well, they did it at the end with her, but
Nah, did they?
no, not with her. Not it was
It was the other guy. It was the other guy.
Yeah, it was the other guy. This other guy. But yeah, I thought it was really gonna be like this crazy moment where, either she or Fury was a scroll, and they never did.
You
Yeah,
know
I
what I
didn't like
like?
that part.
Oh.
I didn't like the fact that he got to the bar before she did.
Mhm.
Like if he would have showed up, okay. But the fact that he was already there, I was like, how did you put 2 and 2 together
What do you mean?
to go
To that bar?
to that bar?
Who, Nick?
Yeah.
Yeah, Nick. That makes sense.
Like, how did he get? And then the other thing that kind of piggybacks on the how did you get to the bar first? He didn't see that picture of her getting onto the plane.
What do you mean? What picture?
You remember when they talk about there's no record of Project Pegasus or whatever except for this one file, and a lot of it's been redacted or whatever. We know that there was one other person with her, but we don't know who. The record doesn't say who was with the lady.
Yeah, when it went down.
When it went down.
Yeah.
But in the packet, there's a photo, a huge 8.5 by 11 photo.
What packet though? Like what part of the movie?
In the file. Like right after he says that, he's like, we don't know who this other person was, and all we know is that it went down somewhere in this area. And then he walks off, and he hands her the file, like the manila envelope, whatever it is.
Well, wasn't he telling her like, "Hey, I think this is you," just by saying here?
No, he was like,
file.
We have no idea. We came here, thought we were going to find out answers, and now we have more questions. And later on, she goes, hey, you remember that person that we didn't know was with her? I think I was that person. And he was like, what makes you think that? She was like, because there's a photo of me on Earth here. And I was like, how did you not see this big old photo?
Well, maybe he doesn't like look at the file every day. Just like, whatever, pilot.
No,
whatever.
They didn't find it until they went in there and broke into the place.
I don't know. I have to rewatch that part, but if what you're saying is true, then yeah, it's pretty dumb.
Yeah, I was like, how do you not see that? And like I said, it piggybacks off of the bar scene because it's like that implies that he found out who she was, which, I guess technically there would be a record because she was in the military.
But she wasn't. It was like a
cover up though.
No, it was like a group, like a experimental group.
Oh yeah, it was like a spirit. But she was still in the
she wasn't allowed
Air
to fly.
Force.
She wasn't allowed to fly with the.
But you can be in the Air Force and not fly though. Like you just don't pilot planes. Apparently, I looked up this later, not specifically, but it was like in the trivia that apparently a lot of people in the Air Force don't fly planes.
What do you
mean? Like you got to pass a lot of tests.
Oh, so a lot of them are like mechanics and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and
they do other aspects of the military. They just don't fly the planes, which I'd be upset. I'm like, that's what I got into the Air Force for, was to fly planes.
You know what I did like about it?
No one cares, Lanza. Get out of here.
All right, so Lanza, aka the Jamaican, was supposed to be here. Sorry you weren't able to make it. But anyways, he says, hey guys, I'm loving the cast. Sorry I'm not able to make it. I can't wait to watch it again. All right, man. Hey, we're still going to do the Endgame, so if you want to do that, let us know. Carter, if you want to get on that too, man, let me know, buddy. Maybe we can squeeze you in. Now, for real, I already have your name ready and everything, dude. Carter, if you want to get on that Endgame too, let me know, man. All right, so, you know what I did like about the movie? I like the bad guy, or he was the bad guy up until he revealed that, hey, I'm not the bad guy. It's the other guy. He's playing you. The main scroll. I like his attitude. Yeah. I liked his attitude. They gave him a personality. I thought they were just gonna make him a generic.
I did like his personality.
creature.
I wasn't a fan of his voice.
No, Because he was the
And
only one.
what's weird? I mean, not what's weird, but what makes me feel bad is that's that guy's real voice.
Oh yeah, but you didn't like his voice? I liked his voice.
No, I
But see, I
didn't
didn't
like
know
his
it was his real voice. I thought
voice.
he was doing a character.
No, that's his real voice. But I was like, you could have made up a voice for this character. Not nothing over the top, nothing crazy,
But put something in
but
there.
you had this Australian accent, and I was like, why are you an alien with an Australian accent? So it threw me off every time he talked. Like I liked how cool he
Yeah, he was
was.
real
Like
charismatic.
he wasn't an angry type of villain.
But he kind of was in the beginning. Remember, he was trying to get. He was like, "Get her," and he
Well,
kind of
that's because
changed.
they were so close. They had
Yeah.
been working a while to get a hold of her,
Hmm.
and they had her, and then she got
Oh
loose.
yeah, it was like a stressful situation,
Yeah, it was
right?
a stressful situation, but the rest of the time he was cool as a cucumber, which are the best villains.
Yeah.
The best, because I've said this before, like just us talking, that I'll be more scared of a bad guy who is talking calmly to me than one who is yelling at me.
Yeah, man.
Like,
That makes
cause
sense.
now I'm like, what are you thinking? What's going on in your head? Like, what's gonna happen to me? Because
Yeah.
you're way too calm about this.
This is like an everyday occurrence for you. You know, like if you're dealing with somebody that's flipping the fuck out, well, apparently they're stressed out too. So you
Yeah,
might get an upper hand on them. They might make mistakes.
yeah, they might make
Uh,
mistakes, but someone
but
who's calm is like, you know something that I don't.
and you've done this before, you know.
Yeah, like
So
this is not your first rodeo. Like now I'm scared,
yeah,
and I
that's
don't
true.
know why, but I'm definitely like unnerved. Like you've got me nervous or
All right.
whatever. So I did like
Yeah.
that. Uh,
So is there anything else that you want to go over, or you want to rate this movie, or nah? I think we should rate it. We've already come this
sure,
far.
sure.
All right.
I
So
would.
are we gonna do a scale of 1 to 10 or a scale of 1 to 5?
5 is easier.
5 is easier.
5 is. I mean, 10 sounds bigger,
No points. If
better.
we're doing 10, there ain't no 5.5 or
Okay, no
1.3.
no
None of that
points.
bullshit.
No points. Uh, I would say I would say hands down, I give it a 3.
3.
I don't.
Okay.
I hold on.
I was thinking about.
Han-
I thought we were doing a scale of 10.
oh no. Hands down, I would give it a 3 because I did like it,
Yeah.
but I want to. But in talking about it, I was like, I didn't have a lot of negative points. Like there were
Yeah.
negative points, and I know if I like, I don't know why I didn't have it written down, like my negative thoughts about it, because I know I had them like
Yeah.
more than what I had, but still, I don't think it was that many more, and they were more nitpicking things.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm pretty sure if I watched it again, I'm like, you know what, I really like this, so I'm gonna give it a 4.
So it's watchable. It's
It's
rewatchable.
rewatchable, yeah.
So that's
It's
one of the main things with me. You know what I didn't like about it now that I'm thinking about it? So one of the main things I liked about it was the scroll and how you felt like once they're reuniting with their family. But one of the things I didn't like about the movie overall is that there was no memorable to me soundtrack. Like as far as I mean, they had a cool '90s stuff, right? The throwbacks. But I mean, like, what's Captain Marvel's theme song? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh yeah,
she doesn't really
I
have
don't
one
think
just
she
at
she
all.
and if she did, I
Remember
didn't hear it.
Remember Wonder
Well,
Woman's theme song? Man, that's a theme song, especially in this
not
day and
really.
age. Man, this
But I
day.
remember she having. I don't remember. I can't hum it now, but I
So
do remember when I watched it
so when you're, hey,
that
should I look
it
it
was
up?
there.
Should I look it up and play it on the podcast, or should I not? Because it's gonna
Hey, it's your
shit
podcast,
kind
man.
of.
Do whatever
All
you
right, what
want
do
to
you
do.
guys think? Should I look up Captain Marvel's theme song and play it for a couple of seconds of it, and then just because I like it a lot, we'll play the Wonder Woman's theme song right next to it, and
Here's the
see.
thing: Captain Marvel might have had
Mm-hmm.
one, but because the
What
'90s soundtrack was there,
it overwhelmed it, huh?
it overwhelmed it.
And it wasn't good because I bet you if I play a whole movie of '90s soundtrack and then we play the Wonder Woman song when she's kicking ass, you're gonna remember that song, even though you didn't remember it. But Jess
It's also
Wonder,
been a while.
hey, it's
Like
my
I
sister Jess
had
Wonder. Welcome to the podcast. So she loves Wonder Woman, everything Wonder Woman, comic wise, like she's real into comics and stuff, and she's always loved Wonder Woman even before the movies came out.
and I can say this to your face, just wonder. The invisible jet is the dumbest thing on the planet. I hate it.
All right, I don't know if
Hate
she likes
it.
that part, but she likes Wonder Woman as a whole as a character. All right, so talk about something. All right. Oh, let me do my rating.
Oh yeah, do your rating, man.
So my rating, I think I'm along the same lines, man. It's definitely rewatchable. Could have been better. It could have been better, but it made me laugh, and I came out with more positive things to say about it than I did negative, especially going in because of all the drama. I thought it was gonna be bad, and it totally, and I didn't know it was gonna be a '90s themed movie. I thought that was cool. Like that, anytime they do, if they can pull off a successful era, especially one that we haven't seen yet, in a comic book movie or superhero movie, it's cool to me. So I'm gonna have to say a 4. 4 out of 5, yeah. So yeah. All right, let's see. So talk about something while I look up this song.
I liked the costume design. I like the fact that the scrolls were practical.
Oh yeah, that was actually pretty cool.
Like they didn't do them CG. Like, not that I have a problem with CG, but sometimes it's like you don't need to go through that extra effort. Like, yeah, it sucks for them to be in the the makeup and all that, but if you do it right, that mess looks great. So I think that, because a lot of superhero movies, not a lot, but there are some where it's like, I get it. Where you got to toe that line where you got to be faithful to the comics, but it not look like cosplay.
So
or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, like someone just made it at home, and that's not to knock the cosplay people, because some cosplay people have costumes way better than the movies. They put in work on those costumes. But I thought the scrolls looked nice. I thought her suit looked nice.
The effects were nice. Overall, people were even complaining about the effects, and they looked fine to me for what they were.
The effects were nice.
So let me play this theme song real quick. You probably won't hear it unless you listen to it on your phone, and even then it's going to be kind of behind. Or you can just play it yourself. But I need to figure out a way where I can play it on the podcast where you can hear it too. So I'm going to play this. This is Captain Marvel's theme song. So you're probably not hearing it, but oh, you are. So to me, so far, it seems kind of underwhelming, which is one of the reasons I didn't remember it like at all. Like I really came out of that theater, and theme songs are important to me, anyways. I mean, they're important. Whenever you think of a theme song, you listen to it, and then you have all these flashbacks of everything that you've seen that character do in the movie or out of the movie. Sometimes it can get you hyped. But on this one, kind of not feeling it. I'm gonna fast forward a bit so I can get to the hopefully hype part. This is what I remember too. I just fast forward it, and it just keeps kind of. You think it's building up to something, and it's just like, it's kind of like that meme where people are like, you're waiting for them to drop the bass. And it never happens. It just goes up, like something's gonna happen. These violins are kind of building up, and then it just kind of like settles down. And it's not even like a gradual, like it's a gradual. I don't know. It's not working for me. All right, let's do Wonder Woman's theme song. Let's see what this one is. Yeah, it's my Just Wonder says it's pretty basic. Yeah, that's the perfect way to put it. So let's listen to Wonder Woman's theme song for the new movie, anyways. This is the one time DC did it better. You know? Let me see if I can find the proper one. Yeah. Are you listening to it well or no? So this song, whenever I listen to this song gets me super hyped. Depending, especially what kind of speakers you're listening to, man.
Yeah, that as soon as you started playing it, I was like, oh yeah, I do remember that mess. And
when this one dips,
was hype.
It dips into something that feels like ominous, and you're like, oh shit, what's gonna happen? It's constantly going. It doesn't just drop. It's like, oh shit, it's constantly building to something. Even the slow parts are dope, man. Like I can listen to this when I'm working out or something, and then when it hits, let's see.
Yeah. When you play Captain Marvel's one, I was like, yeah, that's pretty basic, like Just Wonder said. And I honestly didn't think about it. Like until you pointed it out, I wasn't even thinking about the theme song.
One time, well, Superman's theme song was actually pretty good too, and you don't remember that one, but That's whatever
What
it is.
his original theme song?
No, even his new theme song was cool. 'Cause it was
Oh yeah,
along
I
the
don't
lines of that, but you don't
remember the
remember
new
it.
one. But yeah,
Yeah.
his classic
Oh
Superman.
yeah,
Yeah,
that one's
yeah,
awesome.
that's
Yeah.
instantly recognizable. You can't not like it.
Yeah. Just Wonder
But
says action packed. That song gets you ready for battle. Yep, that's the way I feel every time I listen to it, man.
in Captain Marvel's defense, has she ever had anything?
I mean, she is
Because
new, but damn, like we
I
are.
mean, there's certain things that have theme songs associated with them. Like technically, Iron Man doesn't have one.
Mm-hmm.
They just
Just to
when the Iron Man movie came out, they took
the what
ACDC's
ACDC, yeah.
deal, and now you associate it with Iron Man. But technically,
But
he didn't have
but get
one.
this, there's been I think 3 different Iron Man cartoon series. One of them, the intro, the theme was that song.
Oh yeah, it
It
was.
was a little bit darker version.
I did watch
It
that
was a
mess.
little bit
I love
darker
that mess.
version too, where there was one that was super goofy and over the top, real cartoonish, and then there was one that intro was dope, man. Like, and it was a little bit darker too, not too much, just slightly.
Yeah, because I don't remember. Like I know Avengers has one. I know obviously Spider-Man has one, and
But that,
Captain America, but I don't know if Thor had one or not.
but here's the thing though, Wonder Woman's theme song that wasn't that's nothing like that's not a past song that they just kind of redid. That's like new for the movie. So I feel like they could have done the same for Captain Marvel.
Uh, that was another thing they were doing. They were comparing Wonder Woman, the people were comparing Wonder Woman and Captain Marvel.
Well, no, I was just saying. Even before I thought about Wonder Woman, I was just saying.
No,
A
you just
lot.
happened to remind. I wasn't saying you were doing it.
Yeah.
It just jogged my memory
Well, I'm
that
just saying.
that's one of the things.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying overall that every superhero that's come out lately that I can remember has a theme song, right? Maybe Thor didn't have one until.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't think I paid attention.
Yeah, I think they do. I think they do. And maybe we.
I don't think I think, but you're more in tuned to those things than I am.
Yeah.
Because even on video games, like you're way better in that, like recognizing,
identifying,
and identifying than I am. Like
when it
easily.
comes to music or what, or just certain things.
When it comes to that type of like music in general, like I'm pretty good. But when it comes to like specific honed in like video games and movies,
oh yeah,
like I never talk about that. But you always, like, now that we're talking about this now, it never occurred to me. You're always pointing out
stuff in the background that sets the mood.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
that that mood music and stuff, like, and like whenever you played like when you played like any of the retro games, you would immediately get hyped. You'd be like, yeah, remember this song, and I'd be like, I was just pressing buttons. I was killing people. I was not paying attention to the music at all. Like I was just playing the game, but you were like all into the soundtrack. You were like, this song is awesome. I'm like,
totally wicked.
And it does be a dope, like, which I've made the argument, not to you, but to other people, that, you know, older games had way better music.
Yeah, they do. Older movies do too, games, man.
But I wasn't like as into it where I know every game I ever played. Like I'm like, boom, that's this game. Boom, that's this game. Boom, that's this game. Where it's like ingrained in you.
Got you. Yo, Shinobi, I saw you there, man. I was just trying to let Ill Will say his piece. But I do appreciate you being here, man. All you guys in the chat, thanks for coming by and watching. Man, we've been going for a long time. So we're about to hit the 2-hour mark. I think that's long enough for this topic.
They're tired of us.
If you guys missed it, go back to the beginning or play this at work. You know, get paid to listen to this at work. Don't let your boss catch you. But yeah, feel free to share this wherever. Listen to the replay. And we talk about a ton of stuff. Both Captain Marvel movie related and the Captain Marvel drama. And then just other movies and comic book stuff in general. But unless you have anything else to say, I think we're done. What do you think, Will?
If you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe. Tell your friends, and go watch the other Bamcasts. So he knows that he sucks and that he shouldn't do this anymore, because no one's going to go and rewatch them.
Ill Will's fired. I'm looking for replacements. If you guys want to be on the show, hit me up on my social media or on my channels. I guess, the other thing I wanted to say is we thought we were going to do Endgame tonight. This one a little bit long, and also...
Obviously not.
One of the reasons it went long too is because one of the guys, the Jamaican, was supposed to be here, but he had to cancel because he had some stuff going on. So I kind of want to wait for him. I don't want to leave him out of both of the podcast, and maybe even Darkwing will join us. Who knows? Awesome. Word on the street still here. Thanks, man. But yeah, I guess last thing I got to say is here's a towel. I'm done with you. Wipe yourself off.
Louisiana, close to New Orleans, way back up in the woods among the evergreens. This little log cabin made of earth and wood, where lived a country boy named Johnny B. Good, who never ever learned to read or write so well, but he could play a guitar just like a ring in the bell. Go, 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 Johnny, go.